I'm saying.
Hello, party people. So, Eli, Kayla, Aaliyah. Hello, how are you guys doing? Um, it's a lot going on today. A lot. Okay, there's a lot going on. But we're gonna start off with NXT. We're gonna recap NXT today. Then we're gonna get into some other mess. PWI Women's 250 is out. And there are a couple of topics that are rolling around on the IWC that we need to get into. Now, yesterday, they did spin the wheel, the Halloween Havoc wheel, to determine certain stipulations for certain matches. Now, those matches that got their determination was Tony D'Angelo's rematch against Oba Femi. You see, Tony D'Angelo made it very clear that he was never afraid of Oba. He just wanted Oba to be very secure and safe so that he could take that championship from him without any inhibitions. He wanted Oba to be, just a little bit too overconfident. He was faking being afraid and just very much below the belt, I guess you could say. He faked all of that so that Obafemi can feel too confident and comfortable. And then, of course, he could take the title, which he ultimately ended up doing. Obafemi admitted that Tony D'Angelo outsmarted him. He said, "You got me this time, Tony, but there will not be a next time. You and I are going to cross paths again, and I will become the ruler of NXT once again." He walked out of the ring, and he spun the wheel. And the match that was chosen by the wheel for Oba and Tony was a TLS match. Tables, ladders, and scares. Halloween Havoc is a themed PLE. So, tables, ladders, and scares is what it is. Obafemi also gave a warning to Tony D'Angelo that he would not have his beloved family by his side this time, and he was going to have to do this all on his lonesome. Now, of course, Luca, Stax, and Rizzo, they are not taking heed to the ruler's, you know, warning. And they very well should be, because he's going to begin to dismantle them piece by piece. Luca's going to be the first. Next week, Luca is facing off against Obafemi. He requested this match because he didn't like the fact that he was threatened by Obafemi, when in all actuality, he should have been very, very careful. And if I were him, I would have just minded my own damn business, because now he has given Obafemi the right of way to take him out. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Now, I'm not saying that all of this is going to lead Tony to losing the championship. I'm saying that Oba's going to make good on a promise. He told him he wasn't going to have any of his family by his side, and he isn't. It's going to be Tony versus Oba on October 26th in a table, ladders, and scares match. It's going to be an interesting time, ladies and gentlemen. An interesting time. Hello, Nika. How are you? All right. So let's move on to the next match. Stephanie Vaquer, as they call her, the Dark Angel, and Ren Sinclair had a pretty decent match. Ren matched with Stephanie very well. They didn't make it look like Ren was just getting, her ass kicked in the match the whole time. She really went bar for bar and blow for blow with one of the most formidable female wrestling opponents in the wrestling community. And ultimately, Ren was not able to best Stephanie. She ended up being beaten by her, and Stephanie looked great in that ring. She looked awesome. Looks wise, body wise, technical skill, everything. Stephanie did an amazing job in the ring. And you got to give Ren Sinclair her props. I guess working with Dempsey and the no quarter catch crew really helped her up her game, because she really looked good in that match against somebody like Stephanie. That's a very, very big feat. But of course, in watching, you know that the Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen in the back was watching, because they had got embarrassed the week prior, and now they wanted to get their revenge. So as Stephanie was in the ring celebrating, Ren Sinclair and her crew left. That's when Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez went on the attack on Stephanie. It took a little bit for Julia to come out there to make the save, but eventually Julia came out there. Now, Stephanie picked up the microphone and made the declaration that it was going to be those two versus them two, Halloween Havoc. So now the match has been made. For their match, though, there is no stipulation, at least for now. We got a couple weeks until Halloween Havoc, and more than likely next week, they probably will spin the wheel for their match. This also led to a little backstage moment with Stephanie and Julia. Now, prior to this, we saw Trick Williams and Kaylani Jordan just chopping it, talking a shit about being champions and having opponents. Now, Trick Williams had a lot on his plate at the moment. He has 3 viable opponents to have to worry about. Wesley, one of the greatest North American champions of all time. Ethan Page, a crafty but former NXT champion. And of course, the upstart in Javon Evans, one of the fastest rising and brightest stars of NXT. Trick Williams has a lot to worry about and a lot on his plate, but he seemed confident and very, very secure in his ability to maintain himself on top of the mountain as the NXT champion. Kaylani in stride was not worried either, but she looked like she was curious, more curious about who her next opponent could be. Instead of taking the strides and picking her next opponent, she was going to leave that up to Ava. And of course, Fatal Influence, being the little weasels that they are were in the back listening and ear hustling and decided to go to Ava to make sure that their names were at the top of the list. But that's not exactly how it happened. When they went in the back to talk to Ava, Julia and Stephanie were back there to secure their time for the Halloween Havoc show. And it's a tag team match. And to be fair, they earned the right to be able to face off against Roxanne and Cora due to Cora's interference in Julia's match and the attack that just happened to Stephanie Bakur. Now, of course, Fatal Influence thought that they just got personal preference and they just keep getting more and more preference because of who they are, and they don't get anything because of who they are. And Ava said, no, that's not the reason why their match was granted. Their match was granted because they actually have a legitimate point, a gripe, a true stake. You don't. You're just pissy and in your feelings because you feel like you're great, but you've done nothing to earn it. But since you want to fight so bad, I have an idea. How about next week, two members of Fatal Influence will face off against Julia and Stephanie? That struck a little fear in their hearts. And to be fair and honest, it should have. Okay. Now, next week, you're going to have two members of Fatal Influence facing off against Julia and Stephanie. Something tells me that Cora and Roxanne are going to be on the attack, and this time they're going to be successful in that attack. And when they do, they probably will spin the wheel and make a deal. And when they do, we'll see what the stipulation for their tag team match will be. Moving on. Nikita Lyons returned to the ring in NXT, facing off against Lola Vice, another formidable opponent. Now, Lola has her own problems with Jada Parker, and right now, her issue is with Nikita Lyons. Both women performed okay in this match, but if I'm being honest, I prefer Lola Vice over Nikita. Nikita's fine, but she's not much to really look at or watch wrestle. And honestly, she's she bores me. Both Lola and Nikita aren't two of my favorite people in terms of the NXT girls. But Nikita, I will say for sure that Lola has definitely grown on me, and she's gotten better over time. The confidence is showing. She has been able to withstand her own in the ring with various other superstars. And so I'll give Lola credit where credit is due. When it comes to Nikita, she seems like a one-trick pony to me. And I'm not interested, if that makes sense. So this match wasn't one of my favorites. Doesn't mean it wasn't a good match. It just wasn't one of my favorites. Ultimately, the best part of the match was at the end. Jada Parker came out there and cost Lola the match and gave Nikita a big up in this W. Now, of course, Lola knew that Jada cost her this match. This is only going to lead to more fighting between these two women. Now, if Ava was smart, next week she would set a match between Lola and Jada at Halloween Havoc. You're going to need some filler matches in there. And why not make it so that these two have an all-out brawl? Put them inside the underground. Let them fight it out. Lola's already won one underground on some bullshit technicality. Why not let Jada Parker go over on Lola and underground? It'll be the slap in the face that needs to happen, seeing as how you let her go over on Shayna Baszler. Whatever makes you happy, though. Unfortunately, though, we had to watch Nikita Dragon walk around jiggling her ass in the ring again. Is it me, or is it a lot of the NXT girlies that are coming in just got ass? All of them is just full of ass. It's just ass galore. We just like, damn. Can y'all put y'all ass cheeks away? No? Okay. Whatever makes y'all happy, baby. Now, Ridge Holland and Riley Osborne had their battle, and I knew when they announced this that Andre Chase was going to return. Andre Chase has been gone for about a month, maybe two, and it's been too long for him to be gone. I suspect that next week, Andre Chase and Duke Hudson will return next week Andre Chase will probably face off against Ridge Holland next week, and they'll have Duke Hudson return then, or they'll set their match for Halloween Havoc and have Duke Hudson return at Halloween Havoc. Either way, I see Duke Hudson coming back, and hopefully Chase U will be back to its former glory. With that being said, the match between Holland and Osborne was actually really good. I like Riley Osborne as a competitor. I think that as a competitor, he's a great he's a great wrestler. He's good at it. It's fun to watch him. He's not boring. He's like the perfect hybrid between somebody who has the ability to be a high flyer, somebody who has the flips and tricks, but knows when to use them. He's not overdoing it like Ricochet does sometimes and Will Ospreay. I know those are your favorite guys. I know those are your guys. Okay, I'm not shitting on your guys. I kind of am, but I'm not trying to. I'm just saying that he doesn't rely on the tricks and the flips to make sure everybody sees him. Does that make sense? Like, babe, do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, everybody has their moment. And Riley Osborne knows how to perform, but also do it in a balanced way. I also think that's another conversation for another day, but we'll get there. So Aaliyah says, Ren isn't a slouch. Back in the Indies, she had a match against Jazz in one of her retirement matches. Well, good for Ren. Oh, it's not just you. Oh, okay. It was a decent match, but Ridge ultimately ended up winning. Riley Osborne was also being destroyed by Ridge Holland because the darkness within him has taken over, as he has said. And of course, as he was about to complete his destruction, Andre Chase showed up and thwarted it. And Ridge Holland was escorted away, and Andre Chase was protected in the ring by security. So hopefully we'll get to see some comeuppance for Ridge Holland. He has tried his best to dismantle Chase U for his own bullshit reasons. But I wish Thea would have bit him on the leg or threw his ass off the damn table or something. Ridge Holland was standing on that announcer's table, and Thea Hale was just screaming at him. Ridge, stop it. Stop it, Ridge. Ridge, no. That's all she kept doing. I'm like, girl, clothesline his big ass. Like, sweep his feet. Nigga, bite his ass. Do something. What are you doing? Like, girl, you could have put his ass in the ankle lock by now. I'd have clipped his big ass. I would have picked up the chair and busted him in the back of the head with it. Like, I don't care if he try to come after me or not. Then you have Andre Chase come out there and come for the save. But it was cute either way. Oro Mensah and Lexis King were in a gentleman's duel. Now, I had no flipping clue what this was or how you were supposed to do this. But NXT put the rules up for the gentleman's duel. Now, I'm going to look it up because I need to read the results of the gentleman's duel. I need people to understand what the gentleman's duel was or rather is. Okay. So let me scroll down so I can find it. Hold on. They posting OG clips, bro. Hmm. Oh, I hate it here sometimes. I generally do. Like I can see it, but it's not posting right now. So hold on. Give me a second. I am not prepared today. I'm not prepared. Not at all. Ugh, this sucks. Ah, found it. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the rules of the gentleman's duel goes as follows. All violations of the gentleman's duel will result in a disqualification. Just so you're clear. I had to go through some digging, honey, to find this one, child. I'm sitting here like, I know damn well they posted this shit online. I know they posted it. Okay. The gentleman's duel is as follows. You can't strike an opponent when they have 4 points of contact on the ground. You can't throw the opponent over the top rope and to the floor. Competitors have until the referees count of 3, not 5, to break when on the ropes. And there is absolutely no fighting on the floor. In this match, Lexis King won. I mean, are we really surprised? I'm just being honest. Lexis King ended up winning the match, and he ended up showing his respect to Oro Mensah, who still doesn't trust him. And I don't fucking blame him. I don't trust Lexis King as far as I can throw him. Okay. But he claims that he's turning over a new leaf, and he doesn't want to be what his father was. Okay, whatever makes you happy, bro. Now, he won the match, and then after that match, he made it very clear that he possibly could be coming after Charlie Dempsey's Heritage Cup. And he also made it very clear that he could be going after Tony D'Angelo and his title, should he keep it after Halloween Havoc. And then he disappeared off into the sunset, or the dangerous parking lot that is known as the PC, okay? Which is shocker that he didn't get killed out there, because everybody get attacked in the parking lot, okay? Everybody. Everybody get attacked in the parking lot. Hello, Donnie. All right. So there was a few other things that happened on the show. Javon Evans was very excited about getting his opportunity to face off against Trick Williams potentially at Halloween Havoc. And then we got a little visit from the tag team champions. You see, Axiom and Frazier decided to show up and give Javon Evans a little congratulations. But Cedric was like, hold on. Are you also coming to apologize for costing us our tag team opportunity? And they were like, what? What do you mean? Like, I thought that was water under the bridge. That's not what happened. We didn't mean that. Come on. And then Sexy West showed up. Wesley showed up in his very calm, nonchalant demeanor, which I think is very hot, by the way. But anyways, he made it very clear that he wanted Javon Evans to stay out of his way, that he doesn't think that he's ready for the NXT title scene. And if he continued to pursue that title while he was in pursuit of the title, that he was going to answer to him. And Javon Evans was like, well, bring that ass here, boy. And the two men started to argue. And of course, Wes ain't no bitch, so it was a big old to-do. It took Axiom and Frazier and Cedric Alexander to pull everybody back and calm the excited heads, okay? Now, we had that little moment. And then, of course, we had the situation with Lash Legend and her little minion, Jakara. Okay. Now, Lash and Jakara are feeling themselves very rightfully so, because they took a lot out of the tag team champions over on SmackDown. And Lash and Jakara believe if Kevin Owens hadn't been selfish and interrupted them, they would have had enough time to be able to actually beat Jade and Bianca. Mm, that's subjective, but sure, go off. Instead of them placing their sights on the tag team titles, they decided to go after Damage Control. You see, on Raw, Damage Control had made a challenge to the tag team champions. And they got their challenge. The tag team champions ain't no bitch. Okay, they came back and was like, you want to challenge us? We got you. We don't back down from challenges. They showed up, they showed out. But the problem was Damage Control didn't really lose on their own merit. They lost because Lash and Jakara interfered in the match. You see, while Io Sky was jaw jacking to Lash and Jakara, they didn't like that shit. So Jakara grabbed the girl by her hair on some sucker shit. Okay, when she walked away, and then Lash forearm punched the lady in her face, meaning Io Sky. This led to Io to being a little delirious, and it allowed Bianca to be able to get her move off and get the pin in the ring. Okay, so Damage Control has officially lost against the tag team champions, and it's all because Lash and Jakara was sticking their nose in business that did not belong to them. So now Io Sky and Kairi Sane have made it their mission to come back to NXT to teach Lash and Jakara a little lesson in decorum. Mind the business that pays you, or you will pay the consequences. But Lash and Jakara, they ain't no bitch either. They was like, girl, we did what we wanted because that's what we do. And if you bring your ass to NXT, we gonna show you why. Metaphor is on top, baby. And it's just gonna be a full-on massacre, an end of Damage Control. Provided we give you a eulogy and a little obituary, okay? They're not afraid. You know, they calling her the little genius of the sky and they little tiny pirate. And I was like, Jakara, out of the four of y'all, baby, you're the weakest of the bunch. You might want to keep your mouth shut. Let Lash do the talking on this one. Because you're not up to par when it comes to the other girls. I'm not saying you're bad. You've improved. But I'm just saying if we're laying you all out side by side, you would be one of the last girls picked for the volleyball game, babe. Just saying. Not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying. Okay? Now, next Tuesday, you're going to have a special guest on the CW network. It's going to be your NASCAR Xfinity Series champion, Cole Custer. He is currently the driver for the CW NXT car. They're his brand and they're his sponsor. So he's going to be on NXT next week. Rightfully so. He drives their car. So why wouldn't he be? Love that for you. Another segment that was backstage. Tatum Paxley was back there playing with her dolls in her dollhouse, and Byron wanted to talk to her about her and Wendy's relationship. While Tatum was talking, Jada Parker took it upon herself to grab Byron because she had something more important to say. And Tatum was like, excuse you. Like, I know you a badass and everything, but I was the one who he was coming to interview, not you. She was like, Tatum, girl, I have no doubt that you could take out Wendy Choo. That's your business. But I am not the one to play with. And these little dolls are not it. And threw the little girl dolls on the floor. Now, this leads me to believe that next week, Jada Parker is probably going to end up having a match with Tatum Paxley, which more than likely will lead to Lola Vice interfering and costing Jada Parker this match. Turnabout is fair play, which should lead Ava to booking a match at Halloween Havoc between Jada Parker and Lola Vice. And since the Spooky Girls are there, you can still have Wendy Choo and Tatum Paxley on that card as well, battling it out. I don't know. I mean, they're the Spooky Girls, so use them for what they are. So we have another matchup. In the backstage, creepy ass Ashanti the Adonis was going up to Brinley Reese and Carmen Petrovich to basically apologize for costing them their match last week. Carmen seemed to be smitten with Adonis. I don't understand why. The man is weird. He's a weirdo. Carmen, do better. Please. Why are you so in love with this little gremlin? Oh, he's so disgusting. Every time you see him, you just go, ew. God. And he looks like he doesn't, like he ain't got a lineup in years. He don't have his beard shaped up. He just unkept. And he's arrogant for no fucking reason. He's arrogant for no reason. I hate it. I hate every minute of it. And she is just smitten with him. So much so that when Sean Spears overheard how Adonis was talking to the women, he decided to interject himself and say that Adonis is being a creep, which from one creep to another, and that he should talk to these women like they're ladies because they are ladies. Respect them as such. For once, I agree. But he also has another creepoid with him in Brooks, standing there looking like he just came out of his backwoods outhouse. And he basically was like, "Isn't that right, Brooks?" And Brooks was like, "Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna beat your ass." And he was like, "Yo, you got a problem, G?" They started going back and forth. Match was made. They had their match. Now, after the two men were pulled away, you saw Carmen grabbing the rose petals that they ripped up off the floor. During Adonis and Brooks's match, Carmen comes out there with a sack of these rose petals and pours them on the edge of the apron. Adonis seems to be smitten with her and these fucking rose petals for some reason. I don't understand it. It's not clicking. Somebody explain it to me. Somebody in the comments explain it to me. I'm not looking at the comments right now. I'm trying to make sure I get this out. Okay. Somebody in the comments explain it to me. Anyways, I'm going to let y'all in after I finish NXT. So, once Carmen put the petals on the apron, she walks away slowly. This is after she pretty much threatened to kick Sean Spears in the face. I was like, okay, Carmen. So Adonis had a distraction. It looked like this distraction worked out in his favor, but it actually didn't. Brooks ended up beating Adonis, and he was drooling all over the place like a fucking weirdo. I was like, two weird ass dudes wrestling in a ring with a weird ass bitch on the outside and another weird ass dude with his arm in a sling. Just weirdos galore today. Weirdo, weirdo, weirdo. You're a weirdo. Today's word is weirdo. Use it in a sentence today. You're welcome. Anyways, I think those were all your backstage vignettes, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to get to the nitty gritty. The matchup between Javon Evans, Wesley, and Ethan Page was actually really, really good. All three men competed successfully, and there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of almost pins, almost times, okay? Javon Evans and Wesley in the ring together, I believe, is going to be a PLE gold. And I think both of those men are going to compete in the Iron Survivor Challenge. And I also believe that Wesley is going to be your Iron Survivor Challenge winner. But I'm getting ahead of myself. In this matchup, Wesley and Javon Evans really played well off of each other. And Ethan Page did exactly what he was supposed to do. When it was his time to come in, he used his power and strength against the two high flyers as much as he could. But for the most part, Javon Evans and Wesley were able to pretty much keep this match between the two of them. Towards the end, when Wesley thought he had the drop on Javon Evans actually was the one who got the drop on him and was able to get the pin. But just like the slimy snake that he is, Ethan Page came in and rolled up Javon Evans and was able to get the pin on Javon Evans. So Ethan Page has won the right to challenge Trick Williams for his NXT championship at Halloween Havoc once again. And he grabbed the microphone and he made it very clear that he was never going to be rid of Ethan Page. Oh no, Trick Williams, you see, I am always going to be here to take back what's mine, which is that NXT championship. You have something that belongs to me and I'm coming to collect. So now it's time to spin the wheel and make a deal. So get your ass out here so we can see what the stipulation for our match is going to be. Trick Williams came out. They spun the wheel. And the wheel landed on the Devil's Playground. At Halloween Havoc, Trick Williams and Ethan Page will face off in a Devil's Playground match. And I was like, that's very interesting. And while Trick Williams said he wasn't scared and he's not worried, Ethan Page made it very clear that he should be. He bust that man in the side of the head with something. It looked like it was some type of can, or I don't know what it was, but it wasn't exactly something that you just pick up out of nowhere and hit somebody in the head with. He was yelling and screaming, and he was the one who stood tall. Now, one thing about Ethan Page that I will say works for him is the pursuance of a championship. Him being champion is boring, but him going after a championship is probably going to be a better time. I don't think Ethan Page is going to recapture this championship, but he's going to make the ride to going to this match a fun one. Ethan Page is a better heel when he has something to chase. He doesn't work well to me in terms of playing off the audience and just being a menace to society once he's captured what he's looking for. He just becomes a boring shell of his former self. And quite frankly, I prefer the menacing, targeting Ethan Page rather than the arrogant, showboaty champion Ethan Page. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all. Just know that Halloween Havoc is going to be taking place on October 26th. And let me see. Ticketmaster has the tickets for it. Shawn Michaels shared the link. It is going to be in the Giant Center at Hershey, PA. Okay. So let me show y'all what the tickets are looking like in terms of price. Alrighty. So here we go. Halloween Havoc ticket sales. Let me bring it down just a bit. So this is where we are in terms of tickets. Let me see. And we got the consequence. So the tickets are like $5.25 for VIP packages, but regular tickets for like seats 109 are like $25. That's not bad. That's actually really, really inexpensive for these types of tickets, and it's fairly early. It's going to be Sunday, October 27th. I apologize for saying it's the 26th. It is Sunday, October 27th. These tickets are not bad at all. They're actually reasonably priced. I am very surprised. $30 for these seats. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. Okay. Now, of course, if you're going down on the floor, the ticket prices do go up. If you're going down on the floor, hey, there's not a lot of seats left for the show. These are selling. These are selling. Oh, these are your VIP tickets, and they are $525. That's not reasonably priced. Shawn Michaels, that's not reasonably priced, babe. That's expensive. That's pricey. Okay. But the tickets here for these seats are at $150, which isn't bad either. I mean, it's pretty reasonable. So if you get 2 tickets, oh wow, these are $215. Why are these $215? What is going on? Why are these $215, but this ticket is like $150? Is it because of where it is? It must be because of where it is, because you're not going to be able to see that well from back here. $215. Are you insane? Well, if you're going to Hershey, PA, you can go and see this show. Okay. So I'm going to take a quick break, use the facilities, return, and we will continue Freestyle Wednesday. That was the end of NXT, by the way, which was a really good show. I hope that you guys watched it. If you didn't, you missed out on a really good show. It was very, 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 very good. That being said, I'm going to take a quick break, potty break, and I shall return.
Still don't know my words, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't desire.
Baby, I'm late, but I can check in with
Hold tight, y'all. Give me 1 second.
Still don't know my worth, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't desire. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it.
Like a fair trade to me. If I ever heard one, and I'm still here outside. Front line, south side. I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me. Rolling 80 wheels in a city. Riding on you. Gotta roll over T, gotta give a release. Spread your legs downtown, so I'm going up the east. Hit the raw sounds when the rock up in your I'ma roll on them forever, let her roll on me. Split this one down the middle, wake up in harmony.
Eclipse. Don't close your eyes to get away. Just make my line and I'll arrange it. Beautiful, girl, you're stainless. You'll be fine, I'll be painless, yeah. All I'm drinking is champagne. All you want is the same thing.
Yeah. The 10,000 building, get your ass an apartment, put you inside a G-class, that's just a starter kit. Plenty things count in life, but none of them is the thought of it. New piece around my neck, this chess games, but shorty stay with calculated moves like Beth Harmon. Swear I'm more Purple Rain Prince than Prince Charming. Disappointment, I stay expecting it. The pessimist, gold medalists, flush the magnums just so they not collecting my specimens down.
Eclipse.
Okay, so today we are going to be talking about none other than the PWI Women's 250 list. It dropped yesterday, and well, I don't think they did too bad a job on these picks. Honestly, a lot of people were not happy about it. But me personally, I thought that they did an excellent job. And I thought that Toni Storm earned the right to be number one at the top of that list. She was one of the most sought after females for wrestling. She held the ratings down for AEW for well over a year and a half during her title reign. She was the girl. Okay. She definitely was the girl. And so I wasn't surprised that she was chosen at number one. Um, there were some people who were upset about some people's position on the list, and we'll talk about it as soon as I pull up the top 10. I had it, and now I can't find it. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the top 10 and show you guys who was all in the top 10, and then I do know who is 11 through 20, and I have a few others, but for the most part, we're gonna talk about the top 10 as of right now, and then we'll go to 11, and I'll tell you where some of the other girls that you probably are looking for, where they rank on that list. People like Bianca, people like Jade Cargill, those girlies are not as high on the list as you would think. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to give you guys all the tea, I promise. Just hold on. Hold tight. So I'm going to save that. Now it wants to download. Love that. All right. So let's get into this top 10. Okay. I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see everything that I am seeing. Number one for the top 10 is none other than Toni Storm, obviously. Toni Storm is, or she was, the AEW Women's Champion for quite a while. Let me make sure I get my facts straight. Hold on. Toni Storm has won that AEW Women's Championship 3 times. Okay. But her last title reign, hold on. Her last title reign lasted let me double check, make sure I got the information correctly. So Toni Storm had that championship for 281 days until she dropped it to Mariah May at All In London. And Mariah May has been champion now for 52 days. But Toni Storm was champion for 281 days. Oh, they should have let her keep it. Should have let her keep it for a year. 281 days. Like, that lady was killing the game. Okay. Killing it. But anyways, moving on to the next woman on the list is none other than Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace is your current Knockouts Women's Champion. And she's been champion ever since she took that title off of Naomi when Naomi was in TNA as Trinity. Jordynne Grace, I think this is Jordynne Grace's third or fourth title run, I think. Now, there is some tea on Jordynne Grace. She has opted out of her contract. She actually is going to end her contract in January rather than in the middle of 2025 during the summer. So her contract is going to be up conveniently right before the Royal Rumble. Huh? Isn't that a kick in the pants? It's an interesting turn of events. Now, a lot of people seem to think that Jordynne Grace is going to be a part of WWE, which wouldn't surprise me if she is. I do think that she's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble, of course, but I don't think she's going to join WWE just yet. I don't know. I'm I'm on the fence. But I wouldn't be surprised if she signed a contract shortly after her Royal Rumble appearance and she pops up. More than likely, I would, I don't know, SmackDown or Raw, whichever one works for her. But currently, she is your Knockouts Women's Champion. And she, let me see. Hmm. I want to see how long her championship has been, which is why I'm trying to pull it up, man. I'm going down. Wikipedia takes a long time to load, bro. A long time. So currently, Jordan Grace has been champion for 271 plus days. And this is her third title reign as the TNA Knockouts champion. So Jordan Grace has earned her spot at number 2 for the PWI Women's 250. Now we're going to move into the third slot, which is Rhea Ripley. This is the one that caused a lot of controversy online, which I'm not understanding why that is. So let me show you guys the criteria for the PWI women's list, okay? The criteria is fairly simple, okay? It says that their evaluation period is from October 1st of 2023 to September 30th of 2024. Now, let's look at when Rhea Ripley got injured. I'm gonna look that up. Excuse me. Her injury happened after, wasn't it after Mania? Right? Yeah. Because she came back in July. Because she had beat Becky and she came back in July. So Rhea was only gone for a few months. So they started evaluating everything that Rhea Ripley was doing back in October of 2023. That's a long time. That means that they were monitoring her feud with Raquel Rodriguez, what she did to Liv Morgan, and the feud she turned out having against Nia Jax, and the feud she had with Becky Lynch. And I think that's what people are conveniently forgetting. And they're only talking about the things that they actually know about, which are matches that were well before the period of time that they're talking about. So I found a tweet, but I don't think I saved it because it irritated me. But the man basically was saying that these are the matches that they were talking about, which is like the match with Candice LeRae, the match with Natalia over in Saudi. Fuck. Which the second match that she had with Natalia was a better match. It wasn't a bad match at all, actually. It was actually pretty decent. But they were talking about another match. There was another match that they talked about. I think, they had some matches up there that were squash matches for Rhea Ripley and not necessarily the matches that they were considering from the time frame that they set up until now. And to be fair, Rhea Ripley has earned her spot. You're talking about the women's world champion. She was the first of its kind. And on top of that, Rhea Ripley did run the Judgment Day. And without her and the intricacies of what she was doing, the politicking, Judgment Day wouldn't have had the footing that it had. Those are factors. She did wrestle the required amount of matches that it required for them to evaluate her. She had a heavy influence on the women's division and on wrestling as a whole. And the response from the fans was evident that she was one of the top performers. So I find it to be odd that people are upset that she's this high on the list. To be fair, I wouldn't have put Rhea Ripley at number 4. She'd be lower in the top 10. Not because I don't think that she was worthy of it being in the top 10, but there's somebody on the list who I believe is more worthy of being in the top 10. But I think Rhea Ripley edged out over her specifically because of her popularity and her domination in social media and everything in between. So, those are key factors too, whether you like it or not. Those are key factors, okay? But to go over the criteria once again, the criteria is your in ring achievement, your influence, your technical ability, and your competition, the activity. That is your criteria. So, influence is a big factor here when it comes to Rhea Ripley. And I, for one, believe that that was probably one of her deciding factors to put her at the top. Most people will recognize Rhea Ripley over many other people on this list. It's no shade to any of the other wrestlers. It's just pure facts. When you're mainstream, that's the kind of shit you're going to have to deal with. It is what it is. So now that we're clear on the criteria, Rhea Ripley is at number 3. Now there are some people on this list that I am not familiar with. Micah is a Japanese wrestler. I did get to look up some of her accolades. She has a lot. Micah has a lot. Okay, but I'm not familiar with her, so I can't speak to her too much. Stephanie Vacker is on here, the Dark Angel. She is at number 5. She is the first woman to ever hold the CMLL, which is a Mexican wrestling promotion. They also have a deal with AEW, but she is the first woman in that company to hold both the tag team titles for the women and that women's championship simultaneously. No other luchador has ever won those titles simultaneously. She is the only luchador who has done that. And she's just a very good wrestler. Technical skill and just showmanship alone, Stephanie Vacker is a wonderful competitor and performer. So I'm not surprised that she was that high on the list. Sari is Saray, I believe, from when she was in NXT. Um she left NXT simply because she could not perform the way she wanted to perform. She wanted to wrestle a specific way and they weren't having it. WWE has a specific way that they need you to wrestle and want you to wrestle. And because Sari didn't want to do that, she left, went back to Japan, has been wrestling there ever since. She also has a lot of accolades and has an immense amount of titles and belts. Her list of titles that she has is ridiculous. It's crazy. Okay. So she definitely is deserving to be on this list. Then you have none other than our favorite role model, Bayley, first ever women's Triple Crown champion, first ever Grand Slam champion. Bayley has done everything under the sun in WWE. If she wanted to retire right now, she very well could, and her career would not miss a beat. She would be well rested and would be a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. Okay. Bayley is number 7 on this list, rightfully so. The whole time that she was in Damage Control, she was uplifting Io and Dakota Kai. And this is well before Asuka and Kairi Sane joined the group. And then even after that, she was still focused on uplifting them rather than herself. But she finally got her moment in the sun when she went to WrestleMania and beat Io Sky. She also won the Royal Rumble. Bayley had a banger of a year. So I'm not surprised that she is in the top 10, and I'm glad that she's at number 7. Number 8 is a steadfast from last year. Willow Nightingale was number 8 last year, and she's still number 8 this year. She's got quite a bit of titles that she's collected. from New Japan to AEW to various wrestling indie promotions around the country. Willow Nightingale is highly decorated, but she's also a very cool person. I've seen many of her interviews with We Love Wrestling and several other wrestling promotion or podcasts, and she's just very down to earth, very much herself. Plus, I love the fact that she's a plus size woman and she's able to go out there and do her thing. Nobody's trying to change her. She could just be her. And that's the fun part. So Willow's at number 8. We love that.
Shout out to We Love Wrestling. We miss you.
We do.
Never forgotten. We still love wrestling.
Number 9 is Mariah May. Mariah May is your current AEW Women's Champion. She has also collected an immense amount of titles as well. If you go to her Instagram,
Yeah.
you can see that she's collected a lot of championships. She wrestled in Japan, earned her stripes over there, came to the States, signed with AEW, and within, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, Mariah May is your AEW Women's Champion.
Yeah, she's
Very,
had a very eventful last 2 years because she spent last year she was talking about how she spent 9 months in Japan. And within Japan she did a lot of shit. She did a lot of catch a lot of group championships. I'm not too sure about singles per se, but I do know it was like trios, group shit. Um Wrestling Tekla, wrestling Julia, wrestling having her own thing with Club Venus, and then to see her come over here to the States, never mind that she's in the B camp, see her come over here in the States and just like excel character wise, wrestling wise, beyond the stature that she is really great. And I'm glad that she made it within these top 10 because she's doing some great work with number one. Y'all gonna be mad when
Mariah.
Charles come back.
Hell no.
Because when Charles come back, it's over for everybody.
All right, at number 9, and it's well deserved. And then you have none other than our Ring of Honor champion, Athena. Athena is at number 10. Now, this is the one that I believe should switch places with Rhea Ripley. Now, don't get me wrong.
Hot
I'm
take.
I'm not the biggest fan of Athena personally. I think her husband's an asshole, and I think that she is also an asshole, but that's not the point.
Bleached assholes.
I believe that Athena has been doing amazing work in Ring of Honor. And she has blown through that entire roster. The entire roster. Athena has been champion for over 660 plus days. She deserved to be higher on this list. There is no other woman on this list who has her tenure as a champion.
How
If we're
many
being
days?
660 plus days.
Oh, she beat out Gunther.
Yes. She very well could have beaten out Tony Storm. The only difference between Athena and Tony Storm is Tony Storm's influence was beyond what Athena could ever dream of her influence being.
Yeah.
The problem with Athena being on Ring of Honor as champion is that nobody watches it unless you're in the paywall.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't have the same reach, the same marketability as Tony Storm does. And she just doesn't have Tony Storm's charisma and character. So that's what knocks her back down on the list. A lot of you are very confused as to why she's not at the top of the list. And that's why
I could
she
tell
doesn't
you. Oh, shit.
she doesn't have the same influence or the same reach as Tony Storm does. And part of that has to do with where she is in terms of the company she is wrestling for and is champion of. Part of that has to also do with Athena.
Yeah. Character work is okay.
It's fine.
It's a work.
It's fine.
That's
There's
what I
nothing wrong with
have.
it. I mean, if you like it, I love it. I don't have a problem with it. It's just not that many people are watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple things, from what Maj has sent us. She be cutting bitches up on them promos, which I was never. I always knew she could handle herself on the mic. It's just that what she
Yeah.
had just didn't work.
Yeah.
But she was cutting them bitches up. And she was like, bitch, even with my broken ankle, you still couldn't even replace me.
I
I said,
mean,
well,
she
hey,
didn't lie.
she limping around with that championship and everybody beat her ass yet.
Nobody did it.
So apparently she ain't talking too crazy.
Sir, going into numbers 11 through 20, Roxanne Perez is another one that a lot of people were upset about. To be fair, Roxanne just won her championship earlier this year. She hasn't been champion that long. While it seems like she's been champion a long time, she hasn't been champion that long. Hold on, I will tell y'all how long Roxanne's been champion.
Around that April mark, I think, or before that.
Hold tight. Her second title reign is the one we are talking about. And Roxanne, ugh, I hate Google sometimes. Um,
You gotta go through hoops to find out. I wish they would do it. That's one thing I do like about AEW. Their website tells you
it just tells you right then and there the length of time.
they got 728 days.
Yeah, like it's right there.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But WWE says
Yep, that's
NXT
current
Women's Champion
champion.
Roxanne.
Yep, current champion. You're like,
Thank you. That doesn't tell me anything
all
besides
right,
she's the
man.
champion. And sometimes don't even update it on time.
Nope. Roxanne Perez has been champion for mm, 186 days, which is about the amount of time that Biggie and Kofi Kingston were champion.
100. So that's
A
186.
little
That's
less
about
than
4
4 months.
months. Yeah.
A little less than 4 months. Like I said, she
That's
hasn't
not
been
bad.
champion that long. It just feels like she's been champion that long.
It does feel like I don't feel like we've been stuck in the trance for about 9 months. I'm like, girl, please
Mm-hmm.
shut the fuck up and lose.
Mm-hmm. But Roxanne Perez is at number 11. A lot of people were upset about her placement. Me personally, I am not mad about Roxanne being at number 11. Again, you are talking about the developmental for WWE. Even though she has been champion, she has only been champion for a little bit less than 4 months. Relax.
And if we're being
Her,
completely honest, her character work is not really doing much. Her matches was saving her reign.
which is why she probably got number 11 on that list. And that's probably why she was knocked back out of the top 10 because the other women had more influence. Now, if I'm being fair, if you're a casual fan and I put a picture of Roxanne Perez, some of the Japanese wrestlers that are at the top of the mountain here, and maybe a few other people in a lineup, I probably would say that most people would recognize Roxanne Perez over those women. And that's mainly because her face is plastered everywhere, all over the NXT branding, which again lends some credibility to her influence. But her being at number 11 isn't a bad spot.
It's very showing for somebody who's not even on the main roster yet.
Just say it's not that bad. Sir,
Now we just got everything.
number 12 is none other than your street trash queen, Liv Morgan.
Yes!
Liv Morgan gained the championship back in April. She has been champion for a little less than 4 months as well. Um, I mean, Liv Morgan has massive influence. She is somebody that is recognizable. Her face is plastered everywhere as far as the branding for WWE as well. And she's been doing a good job as a heel on that roster. So it's not surprising that she's at number 12. I think that's a
12
good
is
spot for her.
12 is fair because she did spend a good amount of the year out.
Gone.
She could have got less than 12, but what she did within the year between this publishing and the last publishing, I wasn't what tag team champions.
Her coming
I think
back,
it was twice she was tag team champions.
yeah, but that was before they started the criteria.
Oh, okay.
So they started in October. Liv hadn't come back yet. Liv
Oh.
didn't come back until after
Yeah,
um
because they was in the UK when they did that, and
mhm,
that was July, I
yeah.
think.
So Liv didn't show up until around Royal Rumble time. Early in January is when she popped up
Right.
again. So Liv being there, actually she didn't win it at Mania. She ended up winning that championship at another. It was at SummerSlam, right?
Don't give me the fucking one. I don't keep up with street trash like that.
Now that's a damn shame. You should.
I'll just
You
know, baby,
should.
we here and we celebrating.
Crazy.
Hey, let me check my receipts back.
And
Cause
Morgan.
she did take a time. She did lock Rhea out. No, it was shortly after. Cause
It
Becky,
was
she didn't
there.
beat Rhea.
No, she
Becky,
won it at SummerSlam.
she did. No, she retained
Yes.
at SummerSlam. Live.
Wait. So
Cause
she
remember,
beat
she beat Becky
Becky
in a
what
steel
had the
cage match
title
on
and
Monday.
she won it at that Saudi show
Was it
because
Saudi? Cause they ran
it
it.
was in Saudi.
Yeah, they
Because
ran it back, and then
mhm,
they had the rematch on Monday Night Raw.
right.
Okay,
Right. And that
yeah,
was
you
how
there it is.
Dom helped her win.
Cause he said he was gonna help Becky win.
He helped her win like both times.
Trying to play stupid. What the hell? You know what you did, boy.
Fucking meth head bitch.
We love the
Anyway,
heroin users.
no, we don't. Don't
Yes,
lie
we
like
do.
that. Lies. No, we don't.
Street trash. I can't wait to Street Trash Friday. Woo.
That's gross.
Only thing about that, Nia be deserving that shit.
Well, I ain't gonna lie about that because I ain't
So
gonna
I ain't got nothing
say.
to say in that regard. I'll turn the other head when she do shit to Nia.
So it was Liv Morgan won at the King and Queen of the Ring tournament in Saudi earlier this year. That was Becky had it at that time because the title had to be vacated. Becky won it in that battle royal. Then they went to King and Queen of the Ring, and Liv won it due to Dominic Mysterio's interference. And Liv has had it ever since then. So she's had it a little less than 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
maybe pushing it to 4. Um,
Roughly, yeah.
I mean, she deserves the spot. Let the bitch have it. Shit,
Not the bitch.
I don't care. Fuck that hoe.
Street trash, street trash. I can't wait until this story is fleshed out. It's gonna be so good. Raquel's gonna beat her up.
I hope so. Um, number number
Raquel's
13.
gonna beat the fuck out of her, and I can't wait.
Baby,
It's
turn
gonna be
on my
so
glasses. I
good.
can't see. They over here on this table. You can open
Bitch,
that.
I'm not your friend, you
You can give
thought.
me some. Number 13 is Io Sky, the genius of the sky. Given the criteria back in October, Io Sky was the WWE Women's Champion at the time. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
surprised that she's on the list. Plus, Io Sky is that girl. She always has been. Okay.
Yeah, it was great.
We love that.
And it's like no matter where she's at, she still commands the presence. She still demands the time, and it's worth watching. No matter if she ain't in the story or not, it's always worth watching because she gonna put her ass in the story.
That's facts. Baby, what are you doing?
Cause in the club, we all fans.
Really? In the middle of me
Ain't
recording?
that right, y'all? I don't claim street. Aaliyah, please be professional. We all love street trash.
You good? You okay now? You got your snacks?
Okay, let's not
Okay.
disrespect.
No, we don't. I don't know why Don keep trying to make this a thing. It's not.
It is a thing.
No, it's not.
We love street trash. We love
No, we
street
don't.
trash Mondays. I can't wait to street trash pop up on Tuesdays again. We
I don't
love
know
street
why,
trash.
cause your leader is out here moping like a little bitch. So
Talk about Draco.
that Draco
Peggy,
out
clap,
for it.
clap, clap.
He is definitely out
he
here
look like
crying.
Soldier Boy for real though.
He is out here crying.
He
He
is
can't
talking
get
about
that
I'm not done
rematch.
with. I saw that. I'm not done with Damien. Bitch, you should be.
Adam was like, "Well, I don't know why you're
What else
not.
do we have to talk about? It's not nothing, baby. You're
You
not
dropped the
done.
ball."
you're done with everybody until you defend that title.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need to be more
Then after
concerned
you do
about your
all that, then we can
titles.
talk.
I know we're not going to talk after that either because we're finished. We're done.
Yeah. And I'm
You're
glad.
done.
I know we did rap a little bit, but I'm glad that Adam discussed his shortcomings.
Well,
I'll
he
let
sure
y'all do
did.
whatever on this shit. When he's talking to Braun, he said Braun said, he said, I'll let y'all do whatever. I'll let y'all air y'all. I said, that's the problem. Stop letting them do whatever the fuck they want to do. That's why
He
the
said
shit is in their A
he
right
said
now.
he said he liked the chaos. I said, then your ass need to stop running around here snatching off
At
them
the
glasses every time Bronson do something stupid.
Okay, you need to pick a. I hate you being a middleman. I would prefer Adam be the heel kind of GM and just let the
Mm,
chaos ride. It would fit better for the show instead of hey, don't do that. It's like gentle parenting.
it
You're
don't
not
work.
doing shit. They're not going to stop.
Well, there's a bunch of other people on this list. I'm gonna try to mention them. I cannot see this lady's name.
What number? 14.
Yeah,
I can't see the shit either.
I can't see her name. I know
Let
it's
me see if I can
Maya
rotate my
or
screen.
it's Mayu. Her name is the Icon of Stardom.
I
She
think it's Mayu.
she was the IWGP Women's Champion in April. She retained her title against Stephanie Baker in the at the New Japan Strong Lone Star Shootout pay-per-view, and she was also victorious against Mina Shirakan at New Japan's New Beginning. Um okay, good for her. She's another Japanese wrestler that I'm not familiar with. So I ain't gonna spend too much time on her. Masha Slamovich is number 15. Masha Slamovich wrestles for TNA. Currently, she is in a program with Jordan Grace. They're about to wrestle at Bound for Glory.
Ain't that big bitch?
No.
Oh,
Masha's
child.
a two-time, no, she's a three-time. Masha's a three-time TNA Knockouts champion. Twice with Killer Kelly, who's currently pregnant by Myron Reed. She's having
Crazy.
a baby with Myron Reed. Congratulations.
I mean,
Um
congratulations.
I am not surprised, honestly.
I'm not either.
That's another
That's a
conversation for another
conversation.
day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm glad I cut myself off.
Yes.
Because
It,
I'm gonna get some
I'm
things.
not surprised, and it's not for the reasons that you think. I promise. I'm just not surprised. It it fits. But anyways,
Yeah, in that route, I'm not surprised because, baby, you look cakey, and I'm not. I'm not mad at it.
I mean, Myron's a nice looking dude, and she's a beautiful woman, so I'm not surprised. I was kind of surprised at them two getting together. I knew that
Yeah,
Myron wrestled occasionally in TNA. Sometimes he would be a part of the Rascals, other times he would be there wrestling on his own reconnaissance. But Myron's bread and butter, from what I remember seeing, was in MLW. So
yeah,
I didn't. I just assumed that I don't know. It was just it was a bit of a surprise. It was a shock to me, if that makes sense. But like I said, that's a conversation for another day. Masha
hmm
Slamovich is she's not a bad wrestler. In fact, she's probably one of the most entertaining knockouts that TNA has at the moment. She has held 6 different titles during that evaluation period.
Ah, my fucking
Um
fist.
She's had more than 100 wrestling matches in more than 35 different promotions. She
Okay, girl.
defeated Ava Everett in the last woman standing match for the WXW women's title, and she vied for Princess of the Princess crown, but and she's beaten a lot of your favorites, and Killer Kelly being one of them. She was
Damn.
her first target when she got to TNA. They ended up settling their rivalry and becoming a formidable tag team, held those tag team titles for quite some time. And then they ended up losing them for the second time and splitting up. And then Killer Kelly disappeared. And then all of a sudden on social media, she
She
popped up
popped back
pregnant.
up pregnant.
So we were
Oh,
like,
this is
oh,
what happened.
okay. That was why your
Yeah, I remember seeing
team
it because
ended
I was
abruptly.
thinking like maybe if that hadn't happened, like would they still be like champions? But we'll never know.
Yeah, because the tag tag team of Alicia and Masha was weird. It was a weird tag team.
I just don't fuck with the bitch name, and
I don't like
I will
Alicia
never
like that.
support. I will never support because I don't like the name.
16 is Mina Shirakova. Shirakawa, I think that's how you say her name. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Um, she's another Japanese wrestler, so I wait a minute, no, she's not. Yes, she is. She was the one who debuted in AEW. And she was a former tag team partner of Mariah May. And she was a part of that fan favorite love triangle with Mariah and Tony Storm. Okay. She's defeated Danny Luna for the Rev Pro undisputed British women's title. And she's challenged Tony Storm for the AEW Women's World title at Forbidden Door, to which she did lose. They ended up hugging it out at the end. That big iconic picture of Tony, her, and Mariah all kissing each other in the middle of the ring. The fanboys loved it, and that's because they don't get coochie on the regular. But anyways, no sniz on the reg. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh god. Anyways, Becky Lynch is at number 17. Given the fact that Becky Lynch held the NXT Women's title, she also had held the WWE Women's World Championship, and she won the Women's Elimination Chamber match to secure her WrestleMania title shot. Yeah. She also wrestled Rhea Ripley at Mania with the flu, I believe it was. She was sick as a
Who, Becky
dog. It was
Lynch?
strep throat.
Yeah, she had the flu and strep.
She had it both, strep
Yeah.
and flu. She was out
Child,
there
she better than
wrestling,
Rhea better than me. Bitch, don't come near me. I'm
and it
not
was
touching
cold.
shit.
It was cold out
It
there
was
in
cold. It was
Philly.
windy. Yeah, baby,
They had.
don't fucking come here. Our match is canceled. I'm not. I don't give a fuck about them fans. I care about me more than I care about them.
Luckily, Rhea didn't get sick. She didn't catch strep in that match. She very well could have,
She could have
but
caught strep in the flu. Bitch, stay
yeah,
away.
yeah, and she was bad off. Like Becky was not feeling the best, but she went out there and wrestled half dead. So
Kudos
you
to
got to
you,
give
though.
that woman her props. She's at 17 on this list, and if you ask me, it's
She should be
rightfully
higher.
deserved. It's deserved. I agree. I do think she should be higher. She was a big proponent of Rhea Ripley having her staple match at Mania. She solidified the win for the women's side of that chamber. We had that iconic moment between her and Charlotte last year because of her. Oh no. I Last but not least, we have
Oh yeah,
Miu
with the war
want to be.
games.
She is another one that I think is from New Japan. She's got some
Really?
championships
This
here.
is not the
She
right
became
way.
the Princess of Princess champion, the true pillar of the TJPW. In throughout the evaluation, she's been a part of that. She is your TJP Combat Princess champion, and now she took down Kylan King at Spark Joshy's show in Orlando. That's one of her titular matches. The next one is another Japanese wrestler. It is Miyu Yamashito. I think I say it. Apologies if I'm messing up your name. She's got 3 titles that she held during this evaluation period. And now she also has a 4th title reign as the Princess of Princess champion. She also defended the belt in MLW. She also challenged for the TNA Knockouts World title. She had the Shine Championship and the MLD World Featherweight title. She took the fight to Shayna Baszler at Bloodsport. That time frame that they had Bloodsport, which was it in Mania? Because Shayna wasn't on the card for Mania this year, was she?
No, but she was at Bloodsport.
She was at Bloodsport. She was advertised for Bloodsport. And she's appeared and
I don't
wrestled
believe
in
she was at Mania.
more. She's wrestled in more than 16 promotions. So
No, that girl ain't did shit. She been losing with Tisha Campbell.
Not her. The girl I'm talking about. Miyu
I know. I'm
Yasha.
talking about Shayna.
No.
So she ain't done nothing. I know that she ain't did shit.
Number 20 is none other than everybody's favorite, Lyra Valkyria. Lyra,
Very, very lady.
yeah.
Let me. This is a sticker. Hold on.
Lyra is up 170 spots from last year's placement in the ranking. She won the NXT Women's Championship title. She was able to beat Becky Lynch to do it at Halloween Havoc last year. She also competed in the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament against Nia Jax. Lyra Valkyria has been really, really killing the game. She also had that big match against Roxanne Perez.
Mhm.
So she's had a pretty banger of a year. And those are your top 20 for the PWI Women's
Oh, it's over
250.
here. Right here.
Now, for those of us black folks, Black Wrestling Alliance has decided to compile the list of black champions or black wrestlers who are all on this list. And a lot of people were very upset because of where Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill landed.
Where'd they land?
Um,
Well, I ain't
Let me
top
tell
20.
you, Bianca Belair is number 34 on the list. She has dropped 30. She was at number 3 last year, and she's at number 34 this year. Jade Cargill is number 44. She was number 14 last year. I'm gonna let you in, Nicole. I got you.
But Jay just got here.
Correct.
Why are you upset she's at 44? And then it's like, I love Bianca now. Bianca's great. There is nobody like Bianca. But
But
she didn't do
Bianca
anything.
hasn't had the same traction that she had last year. So I was okay with Bianca being at the bottom of
Yeah.
the
Like
list.
when you that
Yeah,
girl, the
once
hypo never gonna
I
die. But
was
she's up
sorry if
there.
I sound crazy, but when it first came out, I was like, where the fuck is Bianca? And then I really started to think about it. I said, actually, what did she do last year?
She didn't do nothing. She
And
was
it's not, and it's no
defense.
shade, but it's also, it's like, actually going down to 30 something isn't that bad,
No.
especially for her, like, literally low key not doing much. Because she didn't really pick up, I want to say,
Till Jade got
Until
there.
after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
yeah, because
She was it's like fighting with judge with damage
Damage
control
control.
for the better part of the year. And she lost the title, but it was outside of the evaluation period. So by the time October rolled around, Bianca wasn't champion anymore. Io was. Io won that championship, what, SummerSlam last year?
she
Yeah.
had it for way longer than than you think she did.
Yeah, she won
Yeah.
since SummerSlam last. Yeah, she was to SummerSlam August to April. That's how long she had it.
That's how long she had it. So like Bianca wasn't in the in the title scene. She went to compete because Bianca did. Matter of fact, Bianca lost that title to Oscar.
Yeah, she did.
She lost that title to Oscar because
Cause she
Oscar
defended
had.
that same Mania.
And then Io won it, and then they all tried to get back in that title scene. Charlotte um tried to get
Charlotte
it.
got hurt right after, right
Mm-hmm.
before.
Oh,
Yep.
Charles is on the way.
Yep. Because before that is when they were all going against Damage Control when they did Survivor Series. So
Mhm.
you had like I'm not it's no shade to Bianca, and I'm sure it doesn't bother Bianca. It's just given the period that they're talking about. You're talking about the evaluation period. Bianca's influence is still great, but the other women that are above her, they did more. Some of them were acquiring championships. Like these Japanese women had multiple titles. Okay. Some of these people got 15 championships within this damn time period.
Yeah,
With
they be
Stephanie
passing out
Vakir,
champions in Japan like crap.
That's
I know you
crazy.
guys probably went over her, but Stephanie Vakir, who got number 5, was a triple champion at for an X amount of time.
Yeah, and lost the belts one by one.
Yeah, So she
So
literally gained them one by one and then lost them one by one. Because before she had that match with old girl Mercedes, who, put her on the map, obviously, because, why else? Obviously, she put her in the
I
map.
just
That's
think
why
that
she's also
after that
ranked.
match, she got her WWE tryout.
oh
Yeah.
god.
Not that Stephanie's ranked higher than her or anything,
I don't
obviously.
even see her on the
She's
list.
not even top. Shut. Was she out?
Yes, she
She was.
was. She was
Yeah.
injured. She's not
But a
on
good
here.
And
chunk
she
of
didn't even
that
start
was her.
wrestling until what All In August. August 25th is when she started wrestling. That
Yeah,
was her
but
first match on
to
return.
me,
But she
she
ain't
ain't
did that
been,
match wasn't
and
even
they
that
didn't. I don't
good.
think they included her on the list because she ain't wrestled long enough. You gotta have
As
10
they
matches
should. Oh, she ain't had
minimum,
10.
and she barely had two.
She barely had one. Cause
So
Britt
that's
Baker was
why
fucking dragging that shit.
she's not on this list.
Funny how money ain't sweet like sugar.
So you've got Red Velvet at 51. Red Velvet is your current Ring of Honor Women's TV champion. I think. Think she is the TV champion.
Who Red Velvet?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if she's beating anybody. I don't think she. I think
Red
she
Velvet
is.
is a
Let me see.
champion right now.
Yes, she is.
She
Yeah,
is.
yeah, she beat that white girl for that damn championship.
Period. Stir that bitch up.
She's a Ring of Honor something.
I think it's
Oh
a
yeah,
TV
she
champion.
Yes, a women's TV champion.
That's what I thought. I
Or digital. I forgot. I think
Ring
the
of Honor
women's is
Women's
called
World
TV.
Title. This is what it says.
World TV champion.
Oh
Cause
yeah, it says TV belt at Death Before
yeah,
Dishonor.
yep, yep. She won that.
If she beat Lady Frost and Allison Kay.
Oh, they had
That's what I
Lady
deserve
Frost
because them
over
bitches be
there.
wrestling.
Oh, I love that.
I love Red. She been saying some questionable things lately, but I like Red Velvet.
Queen Aminata is at 55. Jada Parker is at 90. That's pretty damn good for Jada Parker.
What would it go up to 100?
Goes up to 250.
Oh, 250.
That's pretty
That's
damn
smack in the
good.
middle.
Pretty damn good.
That's not bad.
Nyla Rose is 105. Sol Ruka is at 107. Trish Adora is at 140. Marty Bell is at 162. Lash Legend is at 167. Meechin is at 173. Aaliyah James is at 177. Kira Hogan is at 179. Tasha Steeles is at 181. Maya World is 184. Kiana James is at 205. I guess. Aja Kong is at 214. Savannah Evans is 217. And the rest of these, I don't think everybody knows, but I'll tell you. Jordan Blade is 227. Ruthie J is 230. Tiara James is 246. And Alexis Littlefoot is 249.
Y'all just wait, okay? Because Soul Ruka's going to be on this list.
She's on here.
Where's she at?
So Ruka is at 107.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I was finna say,
She's
I
on
know she
there.
was out, but I didn't know how many matches she had in between time.
Kaylani Jordan is at number 29.
Period. I about to say bitch. Period, girl. I'm not gonna lie, I ain't believe in you the first, but now you have proved yourself. You are a fighting champion.
Mhm. I think she's coming into her own character. It's working
Yeah,
for her.
that was my thing. That was my thing for like the first part of it. I'm like, she ain't got no character. But sometimes a championship don't work for everybody, but sometimes you do need a championship to get that bragging right, that chip on your shoulder. Like, I am that girl.
Hmm. So this is Kaylani's first time being on the PWI Women's 250, and she debuted at number 29, which is pretty high for her first debut. That's not bad.
Next year's gonna be number 9. Yes, sir.
So there are a few things that I want to talk about. Okay. So I posted on my TikTokies a few clips from Alfred Okay, he
Yeah,
publishes for Forbes magazine, and he's talking about black wrestlers in WWE versus black wrestlers in AEW. And I'm going to link these posts in the description box. I'm going to link his whole YouTube video in the description box because you need to watch the whole video because everybody's taking these clips and they're just running with it. He does mention the fact that he believes that Triple H needs to do better at booking black talent, but he doesn't believe that AEW is doing anything better. So
yeah, they're actually
him
doing quite worse.
I'm gonna let him talk and then we'll talk. So hold tight.
WWE has homegrown black talent both on its way to the main roster and on the main roster itself. AEW was so bad at building black talent from the ground up, when they needed representation, they had to pay a premium and buy it through free agency. AEW had to pay a black tax for representation because they're too culturally clueless to build black talent by themselves. That's why the only relevant black talent in the company are black stars built by WWE, like Mercedes Moné, Swerve Strickland, MVP, Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin, should have been Keith Lee, and soon to be Bobby Lashley. Look at all that black talent built by WWE that got paid in Florida. Clap for them. From where I'm standing, NXT is building culture. AEW are culture vultures.
We got one more because he had another clip that went viral and he spoke some more facts, so just hold tight.
In fact, NXT is the reason I'm not worried about black talent in WWE. Because the way Shawn Michaels has built NXT into the cookout on Black Twitter Tuesday, Triple H will have no choice but to book black people in his main event in the very near future. Look at Oba Femi, Kalani Jordan, Wes Lee, Trick Willie, Javon Evans, Jada Parker. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Even the white people in NXT are black. Look at Sol Ruka. The NXT talent on its way to the main roster is a Soul Train line. The next generation of top stars in WWE are doing the Cupid Shuffle from the PC to Raw and SmackDown. Yes, I'm talking about the SmackDown where Megan Thee Stallion does the theme song. Enjoy SmackDown while you can, nigga. That's about to be Blackdown. In the main event of Bad Blood, Cody Rhodes was played out by an HBCU marching band. Shouts to Pine Bluff. On that same night, Triple H faced public pressure to book black talent, all while a black renaissance is electric sliding from the CW to the Netflix era. Come January 2025, Netflix is going to be recommending Raw to people who watched Insecure and The Upshaws.
Yeah. Period.
I'm a mess.
And I watch
That's a
both of them
mess.
shows.
Okay, so a lot of people were very upset on TikTok when I posted this on TikTok. And they were upset, honey. I'm going to try my best to let y'all listen to some of them. One of them is 4 minutes of him just being a complete and buffoon. The other one is about 1 minute, 38 seconds. So that one you can listen to. But I want you to get both sides. So you heard what Alfred had to say. I need to hear what some of the fans' responses are. And then I'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Black tax for representation because they're too culturally clueless to build black talent.
That is the most ridiculous video I've ever seen on this app. I haven't made a video in a very long time, but I had to come out of retirement for this. The IWC is so divided that somebody black would actually stoop to create a video like this. Never mind the guy that tweeted that. It's beyond ridiculous. When I was growing up, there were hardly any black wrestlers on TV, period. No matter what company you can think about, hardly any, let alone black wrestlers that were champions. I mean, this is beyond ridiculous. Forget about the homegrown talent that AEW actually have grown, like Red Velvet, like the Acclaim. This is about sheer stupidity and sheer hate for the other company. Some of you guys just need to get a life. It ain't that serious. It's pro wrestling. Like what you like, don't like what you don't like, but don't start throwing black stuff at AEW because you feel like they don't grow black talent when we black people getting paid. Black people are getting paid. Be good with that.
That is so fucking funny. I'm gonna first of all, let me address this one. First of all, I'm not a part of the IWC to make anybody be a clown or any of that. This is what happens when you base your assumptions off of what you see and not if you don't follow my page, you don't know what I post or what I do. I posted this for two reasons. Number one, I posted it because it caused conversation. People need to talk about it. It also sparked other conversations about other minorities in WWE that don't get the shine that they deserve, which I believe is the real conversation. It's not about us because we are being seen and represented. It may not be to the extent of what everybody believes it should be, but we are being seen and represented, right? That's not the case for Latina and Hispanic people. And I got into an argument on my TikTok page because of this, because they're like, oh, let's not make it about race. When you get to see yourself on TV every day, you don't have to make it about race. But when it's somebody like me, or somebody like Don, or somebody like Nicole, or somebody like Kayla, all of us are minorities. We don't always get to see ourselves on TV. So you have to see race. It's intentional booking, is what they're asking for. It is okay for you to hold people accountable. That is not an attack. It's called accountability. And there's a big difference. Tony Khan is not perfect in his booking. Neither is Triple H. They both have flaws, major flaws. Tony Khan just booked Swerve Strickland to be champion this year. Swerve Strickland was champion for a little bit less than 5 months, barely cracked 5 months, okay? The same amount of time that Kofi Kingston and Big E were champion. And yet, you all act as if Swerve Strickland was champion longer and better. He had a different title reign, true enough. But everybody looks at Kofi's title reign like it was garbage. Nobody actually looks at who Kofi competed against as champion. You didn't care about Kofi's title reign because he wasn't the type of champion that you wanted. You liked the fact that Swerve Strickland was walking around with Prince Nana with his fur coat on and his dark eyeshadow, looking like he didn't sleep for 5 days, screaming whose house all the time. But you didn't like the fact that Kofi Kingston was running around with a unicorn horn on his head, talking about New Day Rocks, twerking and throwing pancakes. You didn't like that. You didn't like that. And then you got mad because he got flatlined by Brock Lesnar. You low-key didn't help. And he talking about Big E. Big E's title reign wasn't where it needed to be either. All of us know that.
Mhm.
But we're just talking about title reigns in general. And when you're looking at all of the title reigns for the black people side by side, Swerve Strickland meets the same criteria as the rest of the champions. He was no longer than Kofi or Big E. He may have had a better feud with one or two people, but that's about it. He ended up dropping his championship to Daniel Bryan and they moved on. And now where are they? Right back where they started with fucking John Moxley.
for the fourth time. Or I think low key think it's the fifth time.
It is the fifth time.
And let's not forget to mention that we can name all the black NXT champions on one hand.
And and you know what? Let's take it a step further. Y'all are talking about homegrown talent from AEW. Well, none of that homegrown talent has been championed with the exception of the Acclaimed and maybe Scorpio Sky.
And you can't and necessarily can't really say that Scorpio Sky was a homegrown because he was known
He had
before
a
we
name
get
before
there.
that.
That's
Well,
why when they're naming a client, that's the same thing with Red Velvet. Red Velvet, again, she wasn't like huge, but she did have a name on the indies.
Oh,
So
That's
they
it's
always
claim
like
not
they claim
consent.
she's homegrown talent.
she's
She's not
not
homegrown.
homegrown.
She was
She's
Red
homegrown
Velvet.
talent. She wasn't a part. But even still, Red Velvet. Where is Red Velvet champion right now?
Ring of Honor.
That's not AEW. I'm just calling it like I see it. That's what you say. You don't want me to include NXT in the argument. Fine. Then I have a counter. You can't include Ring of Honor.
Hmm.
You
So
can't.
that leaves out her.
Athena.
Is Lee Moriarty? Is he still?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
So
can't
leaves out
with
Lee.
that.
The most. That's most of your champions over there. If you want to be
And,
funny about
and
it.
here we are, right back where we started. So all I'm saying is what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you're going to call a spade, then it's a club sitting over there that you ain't looking at.
Hmm.
And you keep trying to make this shoe fit and it don't fit. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all are everything y'all right to call Triple H out and hold him accountable if that's your business. But here's my thing. Let me ask you a question. With what we got going on storyline wise, really sit back and think about it. All of the storylines we got going on right now, all of these storylines are going to lead to WrestleMania. So where are you going to put any black wrestler who comes in and gets a shot? They're not going to win the title.
Hmm.
They're not going to win it. They're going to get squashed and then you're going to get mad. Oh, they got Cedric Alexander jobbing. They got Apollo Crews jobbing on TV. Look how long it took LA Knight to get the United States Championship.
Literally.
Look how long it took him. He ain't black. He's not black. LA Knight was over. The moment that he switched back to his LA Knight character, he was over. From day one. How long did it take him to get that damn championship? They was playing with that championship even when Vince was there and LA Knight was over then. We talking all the way back when Bray Wyatt was still living and breathing. Okay? Because Rey Mysterio became champion again before he did. Mistake number one.
Oh,
Okay?
don't get me started with that.
Massive mistake. Then you put the title on Logan Paul. Logan Paul wrestled 3 times.
And had it for almost 200 days. It's not
200
200 days.
days.
I'm doing nothing but walking around looking
I didn't see none of you
dusty.
motherfuckers mad about none of that shit. But y'all are sitting here trying to convince me that this is about black champions. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You know why? Because black women have been at the forefront for a couple of years. This is about you. You're mad because you don't see you on TV. But you didn't have that problem a few years ago when we barely got to see Naomi. Because there was a time when Naomi was the only girl. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like Nicole been saying, there was a time where it was only Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
And we didn't see none of that. And for a long time, it was just Mercedes.
Yep, because they divided them up.
It was just Mercedes. Mercedes was the only black girl on Raw besides Alicia. And then Naomi was on SmackDown by herself. So I'm just saying, what's this really about? Now, like I told you, storyline wise, you tell me where they're going to fit in. Where are they going to fit in? The only other place that they're actually going to fit is in the mid-card division. Right? And like I just said, it took LA Knight over what, a year and a half?
Yeah, just
Almost
about.
to be champion. And y'all think that they finna shoehorn a black wrestler in there just because he black? I don't want you to give me no scraps.
Just because I'm black.
I don't want that.
I want you to see that I'm better than everybody.
I
And I'm black.
want you to build up a superstar and then give him what he rightfully earned and deserves. That's what I want. And that's what they trying to do with Carmelo Hayes. But y'all don't want to give nothing time. Y'all want to cause a problem and make shit worse. And
That
don't get me
Negro needs
wrong.
to be humbled.
Don't get me wrong. Bobby Lashley is an excellent wrestler. And I have said this on multiple occasions. I do not have an issue with Bobby Lashley personally. I do not have an issue with Bobby Lashley and the way he wrestles. In fact, I believe that he's one of the most athletically gifted superstars across any promotion that he's going to be in. That's the truth. I am not a fan of Bobby Lashley as a persona and a character. He just doesn't do it for me. I find him to be boring. Y'all will cheer for him because he black. That's fine. You well within your right to do that as well. I'm not gonna shit on you for that. All I'm saying is when he gets to AEW, okay, and they let him work and MVP work the way y'all say they deserve it, they gonna get everything they deserve from Tony Khan. Cool. When they get pushed to the back too in AEW, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not discrediting MVP's experience. He's entitled to his opinion. But I'm going to tell you right now, I do believe that Triple H was ignorant in how he spoke at the press conference. What he said was a dog whistle that we all recognize, and he obviously is ignorant to it. Okay? He either ignorant or he dumb. Because he could have worded that better. Okay? I understand what he means when he says, I'm pushing the talent forward. I'm going off of talent and what works best for the story. That makes sense to me. Okay? You look at the storylines that we got going right now. The only place that I would probably put Apollo in is in the mid-card division. He has a better chance of pushing forward. He should be in a program with Carmelo Hayes. That would work for him. It would also help Carmelo Hayes. That would work. Putting Apollo Crews in the main event situation is madness. It's crazy. You got Roman Reigns running around, taking over. You got Cody Rhodes trying to keep his footing. You got Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. 4 of the biggest stars in the company. All in one place. And y'all are screaming about why we don't have a black champion right now? Because there's a 4 to 5 year storyline that's been running and still running. Let's go over to Raw. Seth freaking Rollins just got back. He's your anchor for Raw. Gunther is now your new shiny toy. And Gunther ain't dropping that title no time soon. Damian Priest is your next biggest face on the roster. Aside from Jey Uso, they're building up Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Braun Strowman. And I know what y'all gonna say. All them people are white. All them people are Samoan. So what you trying to say? What I'm trying to say is where are they gonna fit in? Where are you gonna put them? Because while you could put Xavier or Kofi in a position, Kofi's a former champion. So technically, Kofi could be one of the next people to challenge Gunther and give him a challenge at a PLE. That's fine, but he's not going to become champion, bro. He's not going to become champion. And it don't have nothing to do with him being black, purple, or green. It has nothing to do with that. It's just simply not his turn in the limelight. And y'all keep forgetting that it has not been that long ago that Kofi was champion. Kofi was champion in 2019. It's 2004. 2024. Excuse me. It's 2024. He was champion in 2019. Bobby Lashley was champion right after that. Now, I'm not taking up for nobody, but you got to see what we're seeing. You got to see it from all sides, not just from your personal bias. I'm not saying that black people don't deserve to be champion. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying it needs to be at the right time and for the right reason. You don't need to demand for a person to be champion right now when it's either going to be just a transitional champion or they're going to get in this particular program, get squashed, and they're going to go back to what they want to do. Why do that? Let them do what the hell they're going to do, whatever the fuck they doing right now, and then move into another program where somebody actually has a shot. Why not give people a real shot at being champion? Bianca Belair have been tearing up that women's division for years. Ever since she beat Sasha at WrestleMania, Bianca Belair has been the girl. She's still the girl. Not even at the top of the mountain, and she's still one of the most sought after and talked about women in the E. Not only that, but she's got Jade Cargill under her wing. And ever since Jade Cargill came in and been wrestling with her, she has improved every single day. Again, one of the top billing girls. And she's AEW homegrown talent, technically. Okay? All I want y'all to do is stop being in y'all feelings and going off of your personal bias. I don't like that. It makes it be really nasty and ugly. And this dude that I just showed y'all, like I said, number one, I don't have no personal bias towards AEW. And if it was just about getting paid, y'all would not be bitching about WWE and the superstars over there. Them hoes contracts start at 6 figures. They're not hurting for money. Okay? So it's not about you getting paid, because if that was the case, your ass would be shucking and jiving for that 9 to 5 that you got. It's not about that. It's about pure representation. And if y'all was really, really mad about some shit, you would be talking about the shit that's really true, which is about the Latinas and the Hispanics not getting no time on TV. Both the men and the women. You don't see nobody in the main title scene even getting an opportunity at a main title except for Rey Mysterio. And Rey Mysterio is almost 50 something years old.
We
Okay.
got all the Latinos all broken up in factions, but nobody want to talk about that.
Ain't none of them wrestling. And Zelina Vega ain't had one title shot, barely got that. And that was because they was going to Puerto Rico. And if I'm not mistaken, besides her, Lola Vice, and Electra Lopez, ain't no other Latinas in the WWE. Not women. You done had Legado del Fantasma, or at least Joaquin and Del Toro. They done been in every single part of WWE and done had many opportunities to be champion. And matter of fact, they should have been champion over in NXT years ago. Okay? Should have been champion. They ain't smelt the title. Only championships Escobar got was the cruiserweight when it was still in play. And even then, he didn't get to keep that long. I'm not trying to invalidate nobody's feelings. You can say whatever you want to say. But when it was black people at the top of the mountain, nobody complained. Nobody said anything. Everybody was happy and excited. It's not about black people not getting opportunities or not being seen. It's about you making sure it's the right time in the right place. And right now, it's not everybody not gonna be at the top of the mountain. Everybody's gonna eat, but everybody not gonna eat in the same spot.
And it's also, and I think I've said this before, I've said this in the Discord or the Discord I'm in. Not everybody can be a champion, and not everyone is meant to be a champion. Because I think we were having conversation about over and underrated um superstars and WWE. Not this is just WWE specifically. and somebody was talking about Chelsea, and then they're like, oh, I hate how she hasn't been in the title picture or something like that before that. And I said, well, because so many people were saying Chelsea, I was like, I love Chelsea because she understands her place on the card. And then someone like a little bit ago was like, oh, like I miss her being, ugh, why are we such up close with Don Callis' face is disgusting. Ew, like literally makes me sick. Anyways, and I was like, she understands her place on the card because she understands not everybody is meant to be champion. She might not be, she can be, if the time calls, but it's not necessary for her. And then someone was like, and they were like, they're like, who's also like that, which is funny because since they're married is Matt Cardona. So Matt Cardona is the same way. I
Yeah.
was like, agreed. I said I said I like them, especially the two of them, fundamentally understand being a wrestler and what it entails into the business, then probably 80 something percent of current talent period. And I'm being so for real. They understand everything to the point they could be like Bret Hart and I was an artist.
Oh my
Bullshit.
god.
Um,
That documentary just really proved how much of a dick you really are.
he
Just
is. I love Bret though. I don't even care because he knows it too.
he's such a dick though.
He is. He's such a dick, and he knows he is. And it's just like it's too. He's too old. He was barely changing, and he's not gonna. He's too old. It don't matter no more. To me, it don't matter no more.
I was
That's why,
like,
like, when
dude,
people get upset over fucking Hogan Terry, and I'm like, he's old. I was like, I don't care no more. And so, what am I gonna care? He's in his 70s. He's gonna change his mind? You got me the fuck up.
facts.
I
So
literally can't believe I had to um look at his face that close up. That was disturbing. Takeshi really a bad bitch. I love this for him.
so there's a few controversies that's been on the table. Oh, they said bless you, Nicole.
Oh, thank you.
So for whatever reason, every time they mention slaying a beast, everybody gets a bee in their bonnet about Brock Lesnar. They're getting like hard ons and creaming on themselves. Brock Lesnar's coming back. They're getting ready to bring Brock Lesnar back. That's not true, bro. It's not happening. Okay. Everybody did it. I saw it on Sports Kita. I saw it on Fightful Select, even though they're reporting that they're not coming back. He's not coming back. I saw it everywhere. Wrestle Ops, Wrestle Purists, every dirt sheet, even Wrestling Observer was talking about it. Do you guys understand the severity of the lawsuit that his name is mentioned in at the moment? I want you guys to really think about what that girl alleges he was going to do and what was done to her. She was literally about to be pimped out to him, and he was accepting it. And that's how they secured his $10 million contract. Allegedly. Allegedly. And the only reason why he didn't sleep with her is because he was too drunk to do it, according to the lawsuit. Now,
That's crazy.
if this is all true, right? Even the allegations alone are salacious as hell, right? And WWE is also named in this lawsuit as being aware of this man and Vince and fucking Laurinaitis's disgusting ass antics against her. Do you honestly think that TKO is going to be like, oh, let's bring his ass back. It's a quick cash grab. Do you really think that that's going to happen? This would literally destroy WWE single-handedly. They have not proven Brock Lesnar's innocence. It hasn't been proven. So, as much as people want to say he's innocent until proven guilty, no, he's guilty until proven innocent in this case. I'm sorry, not sorry. They're not going to risk the entire company for one man and for a one-night match. They're not that. And I think somebody else on Twitter made it very clear. They don't need Brock Lesnar. They have enough monsters among men to do what they need to do. Bronson Reed being one of them. Braun Strowman being one of them. And Braun Breaker being a baby Brock Lesnar in himself. I think they're good. I think they're fine. So please stop begging for this man to come back. Let him stay at home on his ranch with Sable and the rest of his children. Let him do whatever the fuck it is he wants to do besides showing up in WWE and wrestling. Because the rumors are not true. They have no creative plans for Brock Lesnar. And if Triple H is stupid enough to bring this man back, he gonna kill his era before it could even get started.
Literally.
Okay? Gotta be smart. All right? Let's not. Let me see what else. Oh, okay, so I did upload it. So when we was talking about the PWI Women's 250, these are the matches that they were talking about when they said these are the 3 matches that got Rhea to number 3. That's not true. Rhea did wrestle in Survivor Series against Zoe. She also wrestled against Raquel. I can't tell who she. Oh, that's Indy Hartwell. And she wrestled Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae back to back in 2 weeks. Payback was in September. I want to say Payback was in September. Then Survivor Series happened in November. Half of these matches are not the reason why she got the number 3 slot. They happened during that time, but these aren't the matches why. I like how you cherry pick shit, right? Because it's from October 1st to September 30th of this year. There were other matches in that time frame that were good matches. Her match with Nia, her matchups with who did she wrestle at the Royal Rumble? Was it Nia Jax?
I think it was Nia Jax.
Her match with Nia, her match with Becky Lynch at Mania. She had a good match with Liv at SummerSlam. All of that shit counts. So y'all got to stop marginalizing and cherry picking information. You got to look at everything. Everything.
Ooh, I was scared.
Okay. I think that's it. I don't think I have nothing else to talk about. Yeah. So according to Sean Ross Sapp, which he don't like me too much, but I don't care. The internal he don't. The internal claim to Fightful Select is that WWE and those in creative was that Brock Lesnar's status hasn't changed and there are not stories being pitched for him. And Lesnar has been out of WWE's plans since being referenced in the Vince and WWE lawsuit, which literally means he's not coming back until he's cleared of all allegations, which I don't believe is likely. I don't. I think he it's my own personal opinion. I'm not saying nothing. This is all based off of alleged information and rumors. Because I don't want nobody to come sue me because I ain't got no motherfucking money. Okay?
Man, you ain't about to get the rest of my checks.
I don't have shit. Okay? I'm just going off of what they said. And I'm just saying allegedly. what is being said is not too far off from what I believe. Let me just say it that way. I can believe it because Vince like to surround himself with like-minded people, which is with the exception of Triple H.
Oh, we finally have an answer to that question. So apparently, their mama and John Laurinaitis are divorced.
Oh, they got a divorce. Was it before or after he got busted for having
Hold
sex with
on.
this girl?
It's not confirming a time frame.
Hmm. Well, she ain't with him, so good for her. She was
I
like,
guess she was on the Nikki and Bree show. Kathy confirmed that she's now single before discussing how she handled the process, is not looking to get into a relationship right now. When exactly your divorce was finalized is unknown.
eh, well, it is what it is, I guess. All right. Is there anything else we need to discuss? Wrestling West. Did I cover
Mm,
everything?
yeah, he did.
I covered everything. I would play that other video, but he's just retarded. And I hate to use that word, but that's the best word to you. Matter of fact, I'll give you a snippet of it. Hold on, because then you can see what I'm saying. Because some of y'all gonna be like, Tiffany, that's a bad word. It is, and I apologize for using the slur like that, okay? But this it's the only way I can explain it. It's the only way I can explain this man's video. Okay, so I'm gonna let y'all watch like 10 minutes. Like I'm gonna let you get 10 seconds, maybe a little bit more, so you can kind of understand what
Not
I'm
10 seconds
saying.
worth of stupidity.
Child, you got to see it because you'll be like, I feel dumb.
WWE has homegrown black talent both on its way to the main roster.
Here we go again. You know, for the last couple of days, I just been literally just gathering scalps. Gathered anti AEW fan last night. He had too much shit in his mouth. Had to check him. Then some other delayed black motherfucker sitting on his goddamn stoop. He told me, yes, son, yeah, master, yeah, Triple H ain't the racist. You can't talk about my pop Triple H like that. Then you got this weird ass motherfucker named Alfalfa that worked for Forbes. He's a glorified, like, you know, I mean, I don't know who's worse that got more lube, Alfred or Diddy. But you know, I digress. Let's move on now. So,
You see what I'm saying?
I feel stupid
See what I'm saying?
because I
You
couldn't
see?
keep up with what he's saying.
That was 4 minutes. That video is 4 minutes.
Like, what are you talking about?
For y'all to be so mad about somebody else's take on wrestling, y'all are exactly the same way when it comes to AEW. But what really ticked me off about this fool was that he said, I don't know who worse, black wrestling fans that love WWE or black MAGA fans.
We are not the same. If
We're
anything,
not.
you guys are the
No, you
same.
AEW are cultist stands, not me.
Just like the MAGA fans.
Period. Clock it.
Y'all are crazy.
Clock it.
I
Sit up there sounding
mean,
like you sucked your thumb ever since
the
till you was
thing
30.
the post said, I don't know who's doing the worst job. However, I can point you in the direction.
Hmm.
Because y'all don't have homegrown talent. The only one you had was Jay, which you see how you did that.
All your other black talent are champions on your secondary brand, not the AEW flagship brand.
That's behind the paywall.
Hmm. And ain't on TV. But you made sure to get Collision on TV and you made sure to get Rampage on TV. What happened
You
to the
just
contract for
stupid.
Ring of Honor?
You want to compete, you better put that shit on Tuesday or put it on Wednesday.
Hmm. Hmm.
But allegedly, he's so deep in the snow.
But
Sometimes it fuck with your
I'm a mark. I'm a bootlicker.
head.
I got called everything under the sun in that video. I have not said anything on TikTok about nothing. But I will say one thing that I do want to respond to and I'm gonna make sure I cut this clip and post it on social media because I wanted to make sure when I responded that I did it while I wasn't mad because I tend to go off half cocked when I get upset. And people get cussed out and they don't really be listening to what I be saying because they be mad. I be mad by then. You know what I'm saying? So somebody in my comments decided to write a whole dissertation in my comments by, first of all, not listening to what I said in response to them, but just going off half cocked on their own. And I literally responded to the beginning of what they said. So let me show you what they said. They said AEW has world grown talent. I don't. Okay. AEW has world grown talent. Indies vets don't care about race. They get in the bag from TK. WWE makes an obvious push for black wrestlers just because they're black. New Day, Hurt Business, etc. AEW will push the best wrestler, and if they happen to be black, so what? LOL, whose house? I said, that's interesting. Wrong, but interesting nonetheless. Then he says, LOL, it's wrestler, bro. I am assuming you meant it's wrestling, bro, but sure, go off. It's wrestler, bro. Real fans don't have time for racial politics. AEW has so much Japanese, Australian, and UK talent that walk in with a fan base that anytime they show for Black American wrestlers seems genuine and for their talent, i.e. Willow Nightingale, Private Party, Swerve. You showing Sean having developmental lit by bringing in more blacks who probably going to end up in the WWE style system regardless. Shouldn't Carmelo and Breaker be getting a similar push right now? I love WWE and AEW, but they keep Jade and Bianca doing Wakanda forever and give me Swerve versus Shelton. Here's the thing. So you can actually watch both and enjoy both, but you're choosing to shit on one and praise the other while then simultaneously saying you love both of them. Okay. Then my response was, and this is why you're writing a dissertation in my comments. Got it. My response to that was that he said real fans don't have time for racial politics. If that's the case, then you mentioning black wrestlers being pushed for their talent and not being black was irrelevant because you said that you don't have time for racial politics. You mentioning world grown talent is irrelevant because AEW and you don't have time for racial politics. I don't understand. What's happening? Then he wrote it again and he said, sis, just say you don't agree with me because not rebutting one point I made and just saying you're wrong and you're writing a dissertation in my comments is wow, it's wrestling. Yet here you are. If it's just wrestling, then why are you in my comments continuing to be rebutted when there's nothing to rebuff? I didn't respond. I didn't say anything. I have nothing to say because you're not saying anything worth responding to. You're regurgitating what everybody else is saying, which is that Tony Khan pushed Swerve because he's talented. Tony Khan's pushed Swerve because it was time. Okay,
I really hate people.
cool, fine. Then why are you here? And then you go, well, everything that Shawn Michaels is doing is going to be irrelevant and erased when they get to the main roster. Okay, so don't watch it. If you're mad about it, then don't watch it. I'm not mad about Swerve being champion. I was glad that he was champion. He was happy that he was the first black champion. Cool. The only thing I had an issue with is Swerve want to be black when it benefits him.
Hmm.
That's my only
Like
problem.
that.
He only wants to be black when it benefits him. When it's something that he can be praised for, then he wants to be black. But when he's trying to be black 24/7, oh no, I'm not black. I don't want to be a black wrestler. I'm just a wrestler. Then I don't need to call you the first AEW black champion now, do I? You'll
You were
just be
just a champion.
another champion. Because you can't be black when you want to be black. It is what it is. That's what I'm talking about. But y'all don't want to talk about that. Y'all want to talk about how Swerve was the first black champion. Cool. AEW threw you a bone. You think that it was done because Swerve is a good wrestler. No, baby. It was not. It was done by design. Okay? And they did it well. Don't get me wrong. They did it very well because they were able to masquerade it so it looked good and it didn't look like he was a transitional champion. But he definitely was. He definitely was. To Daniel Bryan, who wasn't as even half. Daniel Bryan wasn't even as long as champion as he was. And now where is the championship? It's back on.
Moxley didn't even hold it coming in. He probably got in his dumb suitcase that elf is carrying around.
I'm just saying. Now, there's a fan on TikTok who came up with a brilliant plan that Daniel Bryan pretty much did all of this. Moxley did all of this so he can be the big bad bully and they can have a nice baby face come in and save him, which will more than likely be Darby Allin. If that's the case, cool. Whatever makes you happy. But you guys understand that there isn't going to be a black champion again for a while. Not at least in the men's division. Because Keith Lee hasn't been on TV in a while. He is still being evaluated, probably due to complications from the last time when he had COVID and everything else. I'm not trying to make any assumptions on Keith Lee, but during the time he had COVID, there were some complications with him. He still could be dealing with those side effects. Some people still deal with the COVID side effects. So we don't know for sure. So we're not going to put that out there on some bad juju. We're just going to say he's injured, so he's not on TV. Don't know what's going on with Will Hobbs. I have no idea. Ricky Stark says it hasn't been seen in months.
Okay, where is he?
Still there. Isn't injured. Hasn't been in a program.
Last time I saw him, he was facing MJF. But that was a while ago.
Mm-hmm. MJF is off filming a movie, so he is.
That just shows how long ago it really was.
Haven't seen
Because
him
he was
since.
just there.
Yep. Hasn't been on TV. And then you've got Shane Taylor Productions. He's doing a program in Ring of Honor, so they're not going to port him over to AEW to do anything. So what do you think is going to happen for the next couple of years? I want to know, are you going to have that same smoke? Because right now, all the champions are white. Except for Mercedes. She's mixed.
Give or take.
So are you going to have that same smoke for AEW in about 2 years? Same shit, different toilet. And that's not to say that AEW won't make any changes and, implement the diversity that they came into the industry touting and screaming. That was them. That was them. They built their moniker off of diversity. That was AEW. That was their flagship. We are going to be a diverse company. Remember, the American Nightmare was the one saying it, along with his wife at the time. I'm just making sure you understand. Because some of y'all seem to forget. I don't forget. And I like throwing it back in your face. Because it's fun. With that being said, when I post stuff online and I'm literally just waiting for conversation because it just brings more engagement to my page. So I appreciate the stitches. I appreciate that. It's making me look really nice for that TikTok creator fund before they shut down TikTok. Might be able to get me a couple of coins before they put that in the trash. I appreciate the stitches and the engagement. It makes my life a lot easier when trying to be verified on Instagram. It makes my life just a lot easier, period. It gives me some more engagement. And the reason why I comment is because it looks good for the engagement. I have to comment. I comment to a lot of people's comments. It just looks good. So, with that being said, we're going to move into what we always do, which is SBC chat, because SBC chat makes us feel better about life because we don't have to go through the shit that they're going through. Okay. So I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to pull that up and I shall return.
Still don't know my worth, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't deserve. Time. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it.
If I ever heard one, and I'm still here outside, front line, south side. I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me.
Gotta roll over to you, gotta give her release. Spread your legs downtown, so I'm going out to eat. Hit the raw sounds when I rock up in your sleep. I'ma roll on the forever, let her roll on me. Split this one down the middle, wake up in harmony.
Eclipse.
I took a lot of cues from Kobe shoe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to make him into the Bruce Lee joints that he dropped, but I can't change
The swoosh, the Nike check.
I can change the Nike check to the black and it had the silver what's the name on? I still think I'm gonna leave it as is though.
All right. Kayla said, sorry, no, I just wanted to let you know that I made tomato soup with burrata and cheese. You had burrata in there? Bitch. And cheese tortellini and brownie cookies this past Monday. And I'm going to cook and bake this week. That tomato soup sounds bomb, by the way. And I'm glad that you were cooking. Sound like you was cooking up a storm. Had burrata and cheese tortellini in a tomato soup. I never would have thought to put burrata in there.
That sounds really good.
Doesn't it? I might have to steal that. But nobody in my house eats tomato soup except for me. And sometimes I can get AJ to eat it, but I'm the only one. Oh, to grieve on my favorite member, Liam Payne, from one of my
You can
favorite
get a
bands,
little
One
bit of
Direction.
gazpacho.
I don't like gazpacho.
It's like salsa.
I hate it. I don't want it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, rest in peace to you, Liam Payne. I read the story on Liam. That is, they say he fell out of a third-story window.
Yeah, I saw. Well,
I
I
saw
mean, not
sunset the
the.
balcony.
I mean, he had like some other shit going on, but they were saying that either security or someone had got called earlier by a man and being aggressive, and then someone who I guess was staying in the hotel um released on Twitter like pictures of his hotel room,
No, they did not.
and like TV was punched in. There was like a couple small candles. There were foil wraps crumpled everywhere
Goodness me.
that were used, or could especially like a one area like it was bad. So I'm assuming that's unfortunately probably what happened.
Oh, Jesus.
So sad.
I'm very. Kayla said, I'm thinking about starting a podcast, blog, and or chat on mental health. And Suicide thoughts. What do you think? Um, I don't like having those conversations because they don't put me in a good mindset. And I would recommend that you talk about things that are positive rather than things that are negative. You can talk about mental health, but I would rather you go in a positive route than the negative one. But that's just my personal opinion. I find that if you do podcasts that really play to your strengths, that's where they will begin to take off, especially when you're consistent and like dedicated to the podcast. They tend to take off in their own little space and people will share it around and spread it. Before you know it, it's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it really, really takes time and dedication. Sometimes I spread myself just a little bit too thin. Um, oh, that's cool. So the rumor is that they want to have Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton for Saturday night main event. I forgot about that. Huh. And Kevin Owens is about to sign a new deal with WWE. Alrighty then. Good for you. We're going to do SPC chat because, like I said, it's messy and it always makes you feel better about life because you're not as stupid as these people are. So, question number 1. It says, I'm going to own up to what I did. My friend's baby daddy and I have been hooking up for months. Okay, you're trash. I'm the reason they broke up.
Double trash.
Thank you. I met up at his house and we were just getting started when his baby mama pulled up with his kids. With his kids. I waited in his backyard. She is the slice and dice type of female. She always has a knife on her or a razor blade under her wig. Not under her wig. So I hid. I found a loaded gun in his yard. I picked it up and the gun exploded in my hand and a fragment hit my face. This is fucking wild. I saw nothing but blood. I'm screaming my ass off, banging on his door while he's in the house pretending like I didn't just shoot myself in the face. Their kids are telling him somebody dead back there, and he's still trying to keep her from checking. I keep knocking. He finally cracks open the door and says, "Get off my property before I call the police." My phone, keys, and purse were inside his house. His neighbor helped me. I have stitches in my forehead and my right eye moves slowly.
Yikes.
But I covered that with makeup and long bangs. He apologized and explained that his baby mama stabbed him before and he was trying to save us from that. We've hooked up since, but I feel like he will always choose her over me. How do I become his main woman? You done got shot in the face with a fucking, like, you shot yourself in the face with a gun, bro.
And now you got a lazy eye.
And your eye lazy, you got a scar, and you still worried about if this nigga is gonna be your number one.
Oh, you down bad and you crazy.
Ain't you know
I ain't got nothing for you.
what? That's psychotic.
Mhm.
That's crazy. Shot in the face, banging on the damn door, and he tells you to get off my property before I call the police.
And you still want him.
And you still want to be with him. He's always gonna pick her over me. Yeah, because he don't want to die. And you shouldn't want to die either. It's the fact that you risk death to sleep with this man. He must have bomb pipe because there's no way. No way. Question number 2. I had a cavity. I had a lover. I still blowed him. Now I have a disease in my mouth and across my lower face. I'm married to a good man who doesn't deserve to see me like this. I went to the ER, not a dentist, because I lost my job and I don't have dental insurance. And they gave me pain meds and wrote me a referral to the dentist. I don't have dental insurance. I'd have to pay out of pocket. Meanwhile, my face is swollen. My lover denies having the disease, and he's not paying for my garbage mouth. First, am I being punished? Secondly, what to do? I told my husband I had an allergic reaction, but he keeps Googling my symptoms, and it's only a matter of time before he realizes it's something else. And my jaw is huge. Look at the gift they put down here. Y'all, first of all, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like, you literally have an STI in your mouth. It's causing you discomfort. Your face is swelling, which means the infection is continuing to advance in your face. And you're just acting like, I can't go to the doctor. I don't have insurance. You can get billed.
Right.
You can be billed. Go to the fucking dentist. And why would you stay around your husband with this on your face and keep letting it get bigger and bigger? Like, why can't you just go get the bill and then be like, babe, I had an infection. I don't know where I got it from, but I got an infection. It must have been something like, I'm eating at work. Maybe the forks was dirty. Lie, bitch. Lie your ass off. What is wrong with you? Just lie. Make up something. Find an infection you could pick up from being on the surface. You know what I'm saying? And just be like, I got that in my face. So I had to go to the dentist, and the dentist gave me something to get rid of it. And I had to get surgery. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I'm not even gonna go to the part about you cheating, because it is what it is. What's done is done. Now you could be grown and tell him, listen, I was cheating and I had to go get my face fixed. I learned my lesson. I ain't gonna do that no more. Or you could tell him you love him and it was a mistake. Whichever one works for you, bitch. Or you could just lie and go get your face fixed and just get the bill and pay for it.
Oh, yuck mouth.
Now you ain't got no job, but go get a job.
You probably crying typing this.
Right, girl. That don't make no damn sense. That's just stupid. Ugh, so disgusted with you. Question number 3. Alicia was stacked. I have a 14-year-old in my house, so I have to speak differently. Small waist and a diamond stud in her nose. We met on Snapchat. She was a traveling dancer looking for a place to stay while she was working in my city. Okay. Tell that bitch to go get a hotel. I was house sitting for my uncle while he was on his honeymoon. I don't have a place of my own. Figures. I plan to wine and dine Alicia, have some fun, and put her out. Alicia planned to have a good time and move on. After the first night, the relations was too good, but she got sick and I wanted her to go. She said she spent her last 225 to get to my spot. And if I put her out, she would claim that I assaulted her. Her. I'm an influence. I'm an influencer and I will be believed. However, if I let her stay one more night, she would find a patron at the club, a patron at the club, and move in with him. I agreed. Alicia drugged me, assaulted me with a fake piece and stole jewelry from my uncle's house.
That's not funny.
I woke up sore, and Alicia sent pics of what she did to me. My uncle has her image on his security camera, so he knows I didn't rob him. He filed a police report about the theft and hinted I should tell the police about my assault. I never mentioned that to anybody, and there must be a hidden camera inside his home, and he has footage of what happened to me. My problem is that he's told others, and my uncle asked me recently, so how long have you been bisexual? That's not how he asked it. So I can't say it the way he said it. Let me highlight it so you can see it. Okay. He then called him a strange motherfucker. He said, I don't know what
You
to
a
do at
weird
this point.
motherfucker.
My reputation is smashed. Help.
Tell him the truth. What? Are you
Um,
stupid?
this is not funny. So I'm
You got raped.
yes, you were assaulted, sir. And this woman assaulted you. You need to call the police. Um,
And, well,
she needs to go to jail. She's also blackmailing you. She's blackmailed you twice. Technically, that's low key extortion, if we're being honest.
right.
She
And she
blackmailed
robbed
you,
you.
right? Like she blackmailed you once, so she could have a place to stay, and then she raped, she drugged you, assaulted you, and then stole from you. She has committed at least 3 felonies. Put her ass in jail. I don't care what you believe your reputation is. You were drugged, which means you were incapacitated. You're a victim, and you need to behave like one. I don't know why it is so difficult. Well, I can understand it because of men and having wanted to be masculine, especially black men having to be perceived as masculine, and then you are having to report an assault. It makes you feel like you're less of a man. But this girl is going to continue to do this to other people. And you will not be the only victim. Not only that, the best way to take your power back is to make sure she can't do this to nobody else. And if I was you, if you're gonna handle it on some hood shit, find out where that next bitch, where that shit is, because the whole social media where she gonna be at. Okay. She gonna post it, stalk her ass, and then go get you one of your homegirls that can fight to go whoop her ass.
Well, you
But
can do
that's
it yourself.
no, don't do it yourself because you're gonna go to jail.
Behind closed doors.
Don't do that.
In the dark room.
Let your homegirl do it. I'm just saying
Just
if you're
spit on
gonna
that
go
ass. Spit on her after
if
you're
you can
done.
throw her out here, in this case, I will allow the spitting
Fucking
because
bitch.
what the fuck, bro?
uh, it better be a good one too. I mean, get it from your throat.
The loogie, like hawk it up, hawk it up.
Right in the middle of her forehead.
Just
Now
get
do
her
it on her
ass,
nose and her mouth.
get her ass together.
Her
Because
nose and her mouth.
absolutely
She's gonna be
not.
too disgusting. You can't open your mouth on that one.
Because this is wrong. And then your uncle ain't shit.
Yeah. On the
Your
other
uncle
side of
ain't
things,
shit.
if he had footage of her robbing the place, why would you think that he had
Like, why
other
didn't you tell him
footage?
everything? But then you going around telling everybody else. Why are
Right.
you your nephew? Like, what's wrong with you? Now,
That's
let me.
crazy.
I feel like something is being left out here because the uncle is saying it like he wanted to have this type of relations with the girl, as if there's evidence on the cameras that this has happened before. Because he asked him, how long have you been doing this? If it was assault, he ain't been doing it long. He was assaulted. So why would you ask him that unless you got evidence that he willingly did it?
Because it probably look. Well, it depends on how she drugged him.
It
It
do.
probably looked like
It was
they was
multiple
probably chit
times.
chatting and he had a drink
Just bent over. Okay.
and then she robbed him. So that could have been it. Could have been that. We don't know if it was audio.
But why
But
would you
even if it
ask
was
him
audio, it
that?
wouldn't come. He wouldn't come in. Yeah. At least
And
like
if she
what
and if he
happened?
got evidence of the girl,
But it really should have been on him to like that what that wasn't willingly. I didn't do that. It was against my will. I
that's why
was
that's why
drugged.
I'm asking that. That's
In
why I'm
that
saying
way, because it could have been he could have I don't know the uncle. I don't know the story, but he could have told his sister or whatever. Like not only this man got a place to stay, but he up here taking it up to us in my house. Like what?
that's dead ass
I'd be
wrong though.
confused too.
But
It's
what if
like,
if the uncle
but
saw her drug him, like, because everything was on camera.
yeah, that too.
So why would you ask him that?
Child, sticky situation. You need to go report that. That's
You
your
need to
help.
report it.
Get that bitch put away.
If you could be man enough to type this out and type it on here so everybody else could see, this is anonymous for you. But you need to report it. You need to put that bitch in jail. Because she is a predator at this point.
She's sick. She's
That
a
shit is
demon.
wrong. That's wrong. She need to go to jail. And
That's
then
a demon.
she need to have a big bitch named Brown just walk up on her. Just, I don't want nobody to get assaulted, but I do want her to get her ass whooped. I do believe in a good ass whooping when you be doing
I heard
shit
you
like
like
that.
trapping niggas.
Right. Then she just
Let
take
me
one of her
trap
big
you.
titties. Just take one of them big titties and slap the shit out her ass. All right, question number 4. Damn, that was 3? Okay.
I heard the dildos they made in prison.
They make them?
Mm-hmm.
With what?
Mm.
Oh my god. What they make them with?
Like with socks and bananas.
What?
It's just like objects that could resemble such.
Like
And then,
a sock? Oh
with
my
the
lord.
like inside a condom or whatever. Wow. Wild business. Wild business.
No, thank you. No, thank
Yeah.
you. Kayla said it's sad that men can't open up about abuse in any form or worse because of society thinking that it's weak when it's not. We have been
Yeah.
shaped to believe that men have to be hyper masculine, hypersexual, and women also have to be whores, but ladies at the same time.
As soon as you're able to walk and talk, it's up to you.
It is okay for you to be able to express emotions, sadness, vulnerability. That is okay. That does not make you less of a man. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It is okay for a man to cry. And it is okay to admit that you have been taken advantage of, especially in one of the worst ways possible, which is against your will and you have been drugged. That is assault. It's not okay. And I don't care if you're a man, woman, or we, they, them, you need to report it. Question number 4. Baby, turn the fan on, please. We met. He said at the end of his long-term relationship, they have a 15-year-old and a 6-month-old. God damn.
The age gap.
Who is they? Who is they? He says she had the infant after swearing she was on birth control. We dated hard. You still dated him after this? Oh, bitch. We dated hard. He had king tendency and I poured my gifts into him. And what the fuck do king tendencies mean? He wanted to study photography. For his birthday, I gave him $1,000 to take an online photo course, and I bought him a camera. You did what?
Who is this? I
Girl,
need to see something.
we went on a long we went on a long walk and took nature photos. We had an argument about his boundaries, and he ignored me for a week. I pinged his phone and noticed he was at a picturesque estate. I drove there with lunch to surprise him. It was a wedding. He was the groom. I haven't been right since. So he took your $1,000 and put it down on his wedding, dumbass. The motherfucker has a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old. What did you? And a 6-month-old, a 6-month-old baby. He been dating you this whole time, finessed you out of $1,500 because I know that camera
But she
wasn't cheap.
said gifts, so
Girl,
I don't think it's the first time she didn't drop some money on this dude.
your ass is stupid. He done been finessing you this whole time y'all been together, and then he he feigned an argument about him having boundaries with you so he can go get married to his baby mama.
Okay, because after he got back, he was like, okay, I was tripping.
I want to be
Got
here
a little
with you and the
crazy.
baby. Girl, I ain't got nothing for you because you got with him when you heard he had a 6 month old. That was your fault. Stupid. King tendencies. Mm-hmm.
You're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You have dumb tendencies.
Question number 5. I had a profound, meaningful sex and emotional affair with my pastor for oh bitch.
That's crazy.
Y'all can't be. Oh my god. I'm gonna say this. I want y'all to hear what this man is saying, what this lady said. I had a profound, meaningful, physical, and emotional relationship with my pastor for a few months. The first lady was losing her battle with cancer, and he needed a comfort partner while she made her transition. I made myself available because I knew he would be a widower soon.
Mm-mm-mm.
The first lady lost 60 pounds and she wore shades to hide her face. Beyond the physical, I did other things to bring value to his life. I babysat their children and I launched a successful fundraiser for the church's building fund. The more I did for him, however, the less he wanted me around. I asked the person I trusted if she thought the pastor would marry me after the first lady succumbed to cancer. This woman was blunt. She's not dying. She had weight loss surgery. You think you're special to him, but you're not. Every female staff has been bent over in his office, and his secretary has been waiting out their marriage for years. I sent my pastor a text about this revelation, and he replied that my spiritual and psychological needs are beyond the scope of what I'm qualified to give, and you should find another church home immediately. He included a list of churches and psychiatrists in the state. My God, today. I am an anointed child of God. He can't do this to me. Bitch, yes, the fuck he
Anointed?
can. Yes, the fuck he can. You know why? Because your ass ain't adhering to the damn call of purpose that you're supposed to be having. Number one, you ain't following the edict that you claim you love and read. Because you're not
You
supposed to be coveting thy neighbor. You're not supposed to be committing adultery. You ain't supposed to be doing none of that shit.
Jezebel.
And it's not any better that he told you his wife was dying. You assumed she was dying or he told you that.
You probably told her that. And she had her get weight loss surgery.
The lady went and got weight loss surgery probably because he keep fucking anything that walks in the church.
You dumb
And you
bitch.
sitting up here talking about some she dying, so he finna be with me after she dead. Do you know what that sounds like? Girl,
Not the secretary been waiting.
the secretary been waiting out their marriage for years. How is he maintaining this? What is wrong with y'all? All y'all old hoes is in this church sleeping with this pastor. And then this nigga had the audacity to say that you are no longer going to be fulfilled at his church because your spiritual and psychological needs are beyond the capacity of what he's qualified to give. And then the nigga had the audacity to send you a list of
References.
churches and psychiatrists. And your ass is like, I'm a child of God. He can't do this to me.
No, you not. You've
Girl,
been a child of God either. So two peas in the pod.
I'm I'm not finna tell you nothing but good luck and Godspeed, you ignorant bitch. Now you sleeping with this man and you taking care of his kids with his wife. The audacity of you. And you think you gonna be covered? You ain't gonna get nothing.
And all she is a little sore from her surgery.
What the hell?
Thinking she on her deathbed.
What is wrong with you? You hoes is wild. Y'all are wild.
Ooh, hoes gonna be hoes at the end of the day. Obviously.
The nerve of you. I'm an anointed child of God. You can go straight to hell. Mm-hmm. Because even Judas turned on Jesus. Okay? He did. He did. Question 6. She's from Olive Branch, Mississippi. Child. Child. The dirty, dirty South. She moved to Chicago. I met her over the summer at a cookout. She has 2 kids, ages 4 and 2. Their father is deceased. No loose ends, no jealousy, no baby daddy drama. I like her and her polite children. Their southern accents are soothing to my hardcore Chicago ears. Her home life is stable and comfortable. She goes to church. She makes cornbread, greens, smothers chicken from scratch. Okay, bitch. I can see myself being a part of this.
That's where you went wrong.
Something about to be. Something don't sound right. You being played.
That bitch is crazy.
I proposed in 3 months. That was your stupid ass mistake. She trapped your ass. She said yes. Surprise! Mid-September, 2 flabby, mentally questionable teens, 13 and 15, darken her doorstep. These are her other sons that she ships off to their fathers, plural, for the summers. They live under her house in an unfinished basement, as they should. I never noticed the door that led downstairs. She says she's sure she mentioned these teens and their alive fathers, plural. You keep saying that. But I guarantee you, she most certainly did not. These teens are rude. They don't like to bathe. They smoke weed in the house. And the 15-year-old is a loud self-pleasurer.
Oh, please. Shut the hell up.
I broke up with her and stole my ring back. Her eldest child is threatening me for dumping his mama. His father wants to unalive me for trying to marry her in the first place. I'm living in fear, but I miss her.
Move.
This motherfucker here.
You have to move to you have to go somewhere else.
So
The odds are stacked against you.
a good girl, country girl came to Chicago and enticed you with good home cooking and southern hospitality, and you got caught up, and she forgot to tell you that she had 2 very disrespectful 15-year-olds who don't like to wash their ass and smoke copious amounts of weed. And they also come from a father who's also just as hood and ghetto as they are.
Wait a minute,
And
pause.
you just run.
You ain't got nobody on your side. Everybody in Chicago got a family.
Well,
Please. You better call somebody. That's your advice. You wanna come in my place and threaten me? Okay.
where?
And we missing brothers and a mama. Keep playing.
I mean, he's threatening to unalive you. Like, I know the code is not to call the police, but like, you can anonymously call the police.
Okay, like I'm not gonna sit here and say it.
I heard somebody threatening to kill this man. Y'all should go talk to him. They got tip lines and everything. Like, you know. I mean, if you miss her, go back to her. You just gonna have to deal with her teenage sons. I mean, you only gotta deal with them until school. She probably gonna put them out when they turn 18. I ain't even trying to be funny. I'm just keeping
Loud
it real.
is crazy. I'm
I'm
going to
just
bust in there. Would you shut the hell up?
right. Like, I don't
I
want to
don't care
hear
what you're
you.
doing. Have fun. Do it all night. But
But
you're going
shut
to be
up.
quiet. I don't want to hear that.
Like, if you love her and you want to be with her and you really like the kids, you'll do what you have to be with her.
And take a fucking shower.
You know what you do with these kids,
Musty
these boys?
bitches.
They don't want to wash their ass. They want to be downstairs smoking weed and
Hose them
stinking.
down.
Hell
To stay
yeah.
in the basement.
Hell yeah. Go get you a water hose and some Ajax Comet. When they get down there and they sleep in that basement, get that water hose, turn that shit on, sprinkle that Comet on their ass, and start scrubbing, bitch. Just be like, yeah,
Musty motherfucker.
get your asses up. start, just start scrubbing, bitch. Just saying.
Child, I
Just
wish
saying.
my kids would ever. Please.
You gotta, I mean, if you plan on being in the other kids' lives, you gotta have some type of cojones. You can't act like no bitch. Not in front of these kids. And that 15-year-old and that other one, they're not gonna respect you. So you're gonna have to demand respect. I ain't saying you gotta beat them because you don't. You don't. But you're gonna have to establish some type of boundary with these kids. If they don't want to listen, fuck it. Lock that whole damn house down like it's Fort Knox. Lock the refrigerator, lock up everything so they can't get in it unless they ask you for it. If they break in your shit, buy stronger locks. I mean, lock that kitchen and everything down. When they go in the basement, lock their ass in the basement. Shit. They want to live like animals, let them be animals. You feel me? I'm just saying. Cause that ain't even, it don't seem that bad. You just got two troubled teens and a weirdo baby daddy, but that's gonna happen with any woman that got kids. Some of the baby daddies just gonna be weird. Ain't really much you can do about it. It is what it is.
Man, that's what you get for jumping the gun early.
3 months is not a good enough time for you to get to know somebody either. After 3 months of you being treated like a king, I guess you decided that the best thing for you to do now was to get married. Come
Y'all
on,
need to
fam.
be, y'all need to give people at least 2 seasons. At
Come on
least.
now. I mean, he
I want to know
said
how you act when you're hot. I want to know how you act when you're cold.
he said 2 seasons.
At least 2 seasons. You got to.
That's
And then
funny.
once you start dating, you want to see all 4 seasons.
I
How
mean,
you act 365 days of the year?
fair.
I have
That's
to see it
fair.
all.
I'm just saying. That last one wasn't that bad, but child, that pastor and his hoes, that's crazy. That's
What a
crazy.
deflection. I love it.
That is crazy.
It's beyond my scope. It's above me now, and
Hmm.
you need some help, honestly. So here are some references
Here's some help for you.
in psychiatrists just in case.
Hmm. You said you crazy and your spirit ain't right. That's some bullshit right there.
I don't know. See, this the problem. Y'all need to be using social media too. Expose these pastors.
Amen.
Put these churches down. So like
Pictures,
you done went to school for this and this is what you doing?
email. I would put all that shit out there.
Recordings, you know they someone don't know how to work their phone for real.
Well, I had a pastor that we went to the church and our pastor was doing some shit like that. But I'm gonna have to tell that story on a different day. I'll have to tell that story next Wednesday. That was a time. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here and I'm gonna let Don get out of here. I went live early today. I was supposed to do the podcast today, but the girls Nicole didn't feel too well, so she popped in really quickly today. And Alexis has stuff to do with her daughter, so shout out to both of them and shout out to Don for coming in here. And I wanted to get NXT done and get it out the way, and then pop into the other stuff, which I was able to get done. And I will post that over on our podcast. So if you hear this, you won't hear this part on our podcast because I don't put SBC chat over there. But if you hear the podcast or some aspects of this show on the podcast over there, it's because we needed to have content. So I told them that I would post over there this week. Okay. So make sure you guys rate, comment, and subscribe. It's important. Okay. It's important that you do it. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'll be back Friday. Friday, we're supposed to be getting some more answers. I don't know if Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes are going to interact, but I know for sure that Randall's probably going to want some get back for Kevin Owens attacking him. Kevin Owens was not allowed to be at the show last week, but he might be allowed to be there this week. He did put out a statement on Instagram, which I did stitch on Instagram, so you guys can go on my Instagram and see it. All my social media information is scrolling at the bottom. Yeah, girl, it's about to be an interesting time.
Period.
Now, I'm warning y'all, when we're going into Crown Jewel, they've got 2 matches set up for Crown Jewel for right now. They may be leading into something else, but I'm giving y'all a heads up. I believe more than likely that Jey Uso is going to drop that title back to Braun Breaker on Monday. Prepare yourself. If he does it, his brother Jimmy might help him. Okay? Because the bloodline may go after Jey Uso specifically because Jimmy went to ask for his help. I'm just saying, prepare yourself for the worst on Monday because Jey Uso might be dropping his title on Monday. So prepare yourself.
So unfortunate.
It is. But
what a lovely 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
Girl. I'm just saying it's not like 100% definitive. I'm just saying it's possible. Because y'all know how Triple H love a good story. Especially a messy one. So just prepare yourself because it's possible and it may happen. Okay. With all that being said, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Okay. It's free. You can subscribe for free. If you want to support the channel, the memberships are up. They're 99 cents for the tourist tier and they're $2.99 for the citizen tier. You get membership discounts on the merch and you also get discounts as a tourist on the merch as well. The discount is bigger for the citizen membership than it is for the tourist membership. You also get your own emojis. You get to have preferential treatment in the chat. And we're getting ready to start posting some membership exclusive content. So I've already started to read Becky Lynch's book, which I'm going to get the 5 chapters out. If not this week, next week. I'm going to start working on the first video for the members only, which is going to be some of the scariest wrestlers in WWE history, or some of the scariest wrestlers to me in WWE, wrestlers that scared me. Since it's October, we're going to do some more scary-ish content. I'm going to try to do some makeup content as well over here and that kind of stuff. And we'll talk about certain wrestlers and try to recreate their makeup looks. So we got a couple of stuff coming out for the members only, and that stuff will last for maybe a week or two and maybe a month. I might leave it up for a month. The makeup content might be exclusive and the book content is going to be exclusive. And then I will make the scariest wrestlers content last for like 2 weeks and then I'll post it. Also, next year, I'm going to start doing cooking content. I've got a wrestling cookbook, a WWE cookbook that I'm going to go through and post cooking content all year next year. And I've compiled a list of all the favorite foods of some of the top wrestlers in WWE right now. And I'm going to do a cooking with tips segment on my membership. That's just going to be for the membership, depending on how well the membership does with that. And it's going to be me cooking every WWE superstar's favorite food. We're going to do it my way. So we got a lot of content coming out for next year, and we got content coming out for this year. So be on the lookout. But if you want that content exclusive, first, fresh, then you need to sign up for the membership. That's the only way you're going to be able to get the content. All right. I love y'all, and I'll see you guys on Friday after SmackDown. Bye.
If you don't wanna see me, if you don't wanna see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. I'm okay already, so moved on.